my comments up. We're live. We're good. I'm back. Told you I need a producer right now. I need someone to be able to do all this background work. I'm multitasking right now. Let's put this on the big screen. So I got some people that are gonna be on the live. Hopefully, if you want to get involved on the live, at the bottom you see it. Send your email, toolkit then contact@gmail.com. Mad. Bought a little gadget so that the battery's not gonna run out on my camera now. So we're good. Camera's gonna stay on. I have got a chair. I need to get my chair as it goes. See, I buy gadgets. I don't even remember I bought them. That's much more comfortable. Jeez, I'm in the game. Now I've got to adjust my camera. All right. Eddie H, big up yourself, man. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. While I wait for a couple more people to join the live, yeah. I never knew, yeah, that TikTok is such a toxic place. TikTok is toxic. Can you hear me? Jamal, can you hear me, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother. You good?
Yeah, man. You good?
Yeah, man. I'm blessed, my bro. I'm blessed. Just broke on faster now.
It's mad how technology can make people link up nowadays.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's crazy.
Oh,
It's crazy.
well, we're out here, you know what I mean? And you're
Trust
living
me.
your life and I'm living my life on a daily basis. But look, for some reason, and you know what? I start to believe, ever since my mum passed away, I start to believe that things happen for a reason. Like, even my mum's death happened for a reason, because the pain that I went through made
Was
me
it
realize
recent?
2 years ago now.
Oh, okay.
So I'm from my only child. I'm my only child with just me and mumsy. Do you know what I mean? But she died
Okay.
unexpectedly. But one thing I realize, the pain that I'm going through right now and the grief that I'm going through right now makes me realize that it changed me as a person, but it made me realize that my mum, I now look at life like nothing can't, after you lose your mum, yeah, nothing can't touch me, nothing can't. I really respect life in the fact of every day when we leave this conversation, I want to leave it in good tone. Like I'm not going to speak to you ever again, just in case that happens.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
understand?
yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
And that's powerful for me because in certain parts of my life, I was taking life for granted. You know what I mean?
No, I hear that. You don't realize how precious life is till something goes, and then you're like, rare. Do you know what? Like, I should have done more. Do you know what I'm saying? It makes you realize.
It's mad. So this one here, this live is gonna be on parenting on all levels. It's all levels of parenting, and that even ties in with a bit of your story. To be honest with you, because I do believe, and I still want to go back on the ones that all the lives that I do. I like to go back on. I don't like to just talk about a subject once and don't talk about it again. And using kids as pawns is part of parenting. That for
Yeah.
me behavior, and that's just my opinion. NH, big up yourself. Yeah, for me, that's it. That's abusive because I come from the same thing. My mum went to her grave with some questions I was asking that only she has the answer, you know. And
Well, basically, what you're saying is you didn't have your father around.
no, I didn't know my father.
Okay, okay.
My story is kind of real mad, you know. Like, all right, so let me give you a quick breakdown. So the police, the hospitals, the schools, they all knew no, they all knew me as mixed race, white, Caribbean, yeah,
Hmm.
West Indian, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I got a letter when I was 34 years of age for my mom to tell me that my dad's from Sierra Leone.
Good blood, bro.
Now I grew up thinking I've embraced this culture, food, music, way of life, 9 nights, learn all of these type of things from this culture. To then be told at 34 years of age that I'm from Sierra Leone. That's where my
Yeah,
dad is from.
that's mad. That's
So
West Africa, isn't it?
yeah, and she
Yeah,
kept
yeah.
that because she didn't really want me to search for it. You know what I mean?
Why is that?
I like I said to you, there's certain there's certain answers I never got. I just have to. It is what it is now, type of thing. You know what I mean? I can't ask her. I can't ask her again. Do you know what I mean? So we was actually in that battle in the time that she passed away. Do you know what I mean? We was actually battling for. I was battling for those answers in that time that she passed away. So what I say is, and one of my things to my mom was, I say all of that to say this. One of my things to my mom was, if she had a one night stand and she didn't even know my dad's name, I'm cool with that, you know, because I'm a grown man and I understand that life happens now. But I just need to know the truth. I don't want to be left in limbo. Do you know what I mean? And also, I'd like him to have the opportunity to answer the questions I want to ask him.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then,
yeah.
then at the funeral, my uncle told me that he come to look for me twice at my nan's house and was basically turned away. This is after the fact. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm an advocate for people who use children as pawns in relationships. We are the children are the innocent product of a relationship, whether it's gone bad or not. They shouldn't
Yeah,
be
because when they're
subject.
young, they don't even know what's going on.
No. So why should they be
Do
subjected
you know what I'm
to
saying?
any form of like? And I always say this because I know you probably like your story. I got friends that are the same as you. The woman is holding the child basically at ransom, basically as a tool to get at the father. And it's like the only person that loses,
It's
ultimately
the child.
loses it, is the child.
Yeah, but trust me, Allah, he's the child, Aki.
Because I will say this to you though, a child is never always a child. They have to grow up. And I do believe that the same as I ask questions. And I remember I'm telling you, 34 till I was what age? 40 something. I'm asking these questions. So don't get it twisted. Don't think that even if the worst case scenario happens in anybody's situation, I mean this, yeah, is a child becomes an adult and they want answers. They want to know, or they
Mm.
become a teenager and want to know. And it becomes harder for that parent, that toxic parent that's holding that child away from that parent to do that. But also, the child then looks at that parent in a different light, like, raw. Especially when
Like
you've got a
yeah,
soft.
you lied to me. You get me? And then obviously, as a child, you never think your parents are liar. You know, like that because you're just a child, and then you think the person that's raising you, anything that's coming out their mouth is just the God honest truth. You get me? So like when you start seeing the lies, it's like the same thing with me. Like when I was a youth man, I was raised by my grandparents, and obviously they're first generation Jamaican. And one day I was on Brixton High Road. I must have been about 11. See this man run up to the car. You get me? Banging my granddad's door. I'm me, your father. And I'm like, But when he said it, I felt it. You get
Yeah,
it? It weren't
yeah,
like I looked at him like, who's this madman? I was like, "Right, that's my dad though." And then I'm asking my grandparents, like, yo, who's that? And they're like, "Right, don't ask no questions, you get me?" And then you're thinking, huh? And then that's when the questions started in my head, you get me?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I
You
know
know what? That always thought if I saw my father, I'd get a feeling.
you would get a
Like,
feeling, trust
yeah,
me.
I always thought that. Like, that's crazy that you said that because I always thought that.
Yeah, like it's not like that's the best way I can explain it because it weren't like I looked at him and I thought, raw, my man looks like me. I just felt it like, raw, that's my dad. You get me? Like that's where
Yeah,
he is. You get me? It's a mad thing still. And then obviously as I got older, I think when I got to like probably about 14, where I was situated in the time in South London, obviously my dad lived in the same area. So obviously he's
yeah.
approached me again, and then that's when obviously me and him built up arting, like that. So yeah, man,
So how's your relationship with him now?
it's good, Like I'm not gonna lie. At the start, it was rocky because obviously when I met him, he was married, he had kids, bare kids in the yard. So obviously my brothers and sisters. So at that moment of time, it just confused man a bit because I was just thinking, hold on. I was blaming him. I was thinking, hold on. So you live in Brixton. I'm in Ross Clark, Fulton Heath. It's just on one road. How come you ain't come to check, man? And then you're down the road breathing up the place. You get me? And then
Yeah,
what happens is, as you get older, you start seeing your brethren have kids, and then you see how the girls deal with them, and then you go like a penny drops, like, raw, that's what my mum did. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So then, as time went along, it was like I just obviously we had a lot of back and forth, but then when I had my child, I think I started to resent him more because I was doing the most for my youth. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I weren't having no nobody tell me I can't see my youth and stuff like that because I just weren't having it. Maybe because of the childhood. And then as I started raising my son, I was thinking, no, I don't want my youth growing up disrespecting me because I was disrespecting my dad. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So then as time went along, we just started to just build a bond, and now we're just cool, man. We're just
yeah.
easy.
That's good, man. That's good.
You know what I'm saying? Alhamdulillah.
Mm. So, all right. I didn't do this at the beginning. There's some more people that's joined now. Tonio, big up yourself. JW, come on every time. So just tell me what it is the movement that you're trying to do now. Like put it out there on here, and
So
afterwards as
basically,
well, keep the
yeah.
loop
So
because
basically, I'm just ended up in a situation where the cycles ended up repeating itself. So I'm just trying to break the cycle, to be honest. So basically, I'm in a predicament where I'm going back and forth through the family court system. They set dates and times when I'm supposed to see my children. The other party, which is the mother, don't stick to it. Then I have to go back to court, and then the same thing happens again. So I've 10 years going forward where I'm at today. It's like I've realized that this battle is never gonna end type thing until she says it's gonna end. So and going through this stuff that I'm going through with her, I've seen a lot of fathers on my journey just broken. I've met man that were fighting and they killed themselves. And do you get what I'm trying to say? So for me now, I just feel like I wanna elevate all the fathers that are going through this because it's like the way I see it is obviously I'm Muslim, so I believe in Allah. That's my God. And I believe that if you wake up, you got another chance to give it a go. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I just want to motivate other fathers out there just to say, look, because my situation's bad and I'm living in it, but I'm never giving up. But my kids still love me off. But if I gave up, that bond would be dead. And then I'd have to probably wait till, the same thing what happened with my dad, wait till my kids are like 16, 17, they're going to be battling with me. But my kids know what's really good, and they know that the other side, obviously their mum, is holding them back from me. But obviously, because they're a bit young right now, there's only so much they can do.
Yeah.
But like I said, because I'm persistent, they got crazy love for man. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, in a nutshell, is that you just don't ever give up. Don't ever think, even when it gets hard and it's all the doors are closed, just keep going, because it's always worth it for that child to just be there, because obviously that's man's seed, that's the next generation of man. Do you get it?
Yeah. You
So
know,
I put together this thing called right. Sorry, go on.
go on, go on.
So I'm passionate about this. I'm living in
No,
this. Yeah.
go on, go on,
So
go on,
obviously
go
I
on.
put this. Yeah. So I put this thing together for rights for fathers. Obviously I just started it. I've got a whole plan, but I don't really want to talk too much about what I'm going to do. But the main plan is just to uplift fathers and get them in a situation where they never give up and they get their children back.
Yeah, man, that's a big movement, man. And I had somebody on last week who had a similar story to yours. I think his daughter was 8. He hasn't seen her now. She's turning 13. But in and out of the family court, like back and forth, back and forth. Do you know what I mean? And it's like it's so sad that it's not a story that's unique or it's going on. Like and it needs to. I feel like there's something the women or the person the primary parent that's doing this, there needs to be more in the justice system to hold them accountable, especially if they break visiting orders or their say. I feel like I'm hearing that a lot. Like they're not held accountable. You go back to court and repeat the cycle again, and that's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
more.
yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what? I hope that I want us to keep the link. I want to be able to come on your podcast or come on your talk show.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
where I'm.
yeah.
This is where I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna get.
You know?
You know what I'm saying? But
Like,
I'm just billing right now. You know.
yeah, for me, this all started this whole social media thing, and this all started about 4 years ago for me. I saw that there was a distance between me and my eldest son, Tay, and
That's the one
I
you're on Insta with, yeah?
yeah, that's the one I'm on Insta, and I
All right,
just
yeah,
started
man.
with him, and I saw that he was just in his room or he was on social media a lot. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, how do I break this? How do I break this gap? Like, how do I get his attention? And his uncle does was big in social media at the time, and I always looked up to his uncle. So I said, all right, come we do let's do YouTube. And our first YouTube video was called That Talk, and we talked about everything down to sex. I bought out a banana, made him try to put a condom on a banana. It was jokes. We was having jokes and whatever,
Yeah,
whatever. That went viral for us quickly. And but I found that YouTube helped me first of all bond, but then I also wanted to have somewhere where my you could go back to. If I passed away tomorrow, this was when my mum passed away. Even the day after my mum passed away, when I found my mum, I still vlogged that. That's on my YouTube as well. But I found that for two reasons: one, to bond with my son, but two, for him to have video, because I haven't got no video footage of my mum, which is a mad
okay.
thing. So I was like, all right, cool. At least when we're doing YouTube, it's documenting our family life, our growth. If I go back and look at some of the videos that we've done now, for me, even for me right now, I'm like, wow, look at you when you had a squeaky voice. You know what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, 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 yeah.
So this venture for me to get to where we are now is like it's humbling. It's humbling. It's not just how we started up these new uploads because he took a break from YouTube. But now we're having these big man conversations. It's time for people to see that, right, you have to have these conversations with your children, especially teenagers, especially with the amount of information that's out there due to social media. You have to. You have to be the guidance. If you're not the guidance, then what are you gonna do? Allow social media or allow Joe Blogs to guide them? I don't know. Like that's all I can say. I can just be real with it with him. Do you know what I mean? And I don't mind talking to him about anything, any topic. As you can see, as you see what I post, even today, like I posted one about we had a long conversation about rape and non-consensual sex and consent. The biggest thing about it is I want my youth to understand what consent really means. So if you start something with a girl and she says no, then you stop. Just because you started don't mean you can finish. You
Mm.
understand where I'm coming from? And
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
a lot of people took the 30-second reel that I done the wrong way, and I saw myself battling in the comments with them, and I just deleted the negative comments. But I'm not afraid to have those conversations with my son because he needs the knowledge. He needs to understand what consent really is. Because
Mm.
and I break it down to him even to would he have a one night stand? Like because for me, a one night stand's dangerous. You don't know that girl from nowhere. You lot could be drunk. Where's the consent in the drunkenness?
Yeah, there's so much things that could go wrong.
You understand me? So if
Mm.
you don't have these conversations, then how do you educate them? That's what I say. But how do you educate them? Like you need to have the raw conversations with them, man. No matter how touchy it might get. Don't be disrespectful. I'm not asking. I'd never teach my son to be disrespectful, even if we're talking about transgenders or gays or. I don't want him to be disrespectful about it, but you can have an opinion. I wanna know what's going on in your brain. I want to know what you've been fed through your telephone. I want to know where your mind's at so we can talk it.
Yeah, because it's important, because you know what it is, you know how it goes. When boys and girls, as soon as they hit year 9, you automatically change. Do you
Yeah.
get what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm saying?
What?
No? You just
What?
you just wake up and change.
Those
And
endorphins as those endorphins and testosterone start back around in your body,
yeah, puberty, it just starts going all mad. And then they
you're
feel like you don't understand me, you don't know what I'm going through. And they don't really get that. Man was your age. Man went through the exact same things, all the feelings, everything. It's all been the same.
a question for you. If you could go back to your younger self, what would be the one thing you would tell yourself? So everything that you know now, up to being a father, if you could go back to your younger self, let's say you're turning from year 7 to year 8, what would you tell yourself?
Don't smoke weed
Yeah.
and take on religion seriously. Because what I know now, if I had that then, but then it's mad because it's like I feel like everything I've experienced has led me to the stage where I'm at now. So it's like now I don't smoke weed completely. Now I'm on my dean. Now I live more of a positive. No, not more. I live a positive lifestyle. Do you know what I'm saying? But I feel
Yeah.
like because everything was negative and I had everything handed to me as a youth, it's led me to where I'm at now, where I've seen youths that I've had it the way I wanted it, and they're just moving left now because they
Yeah.
want to catch up, which they want to catch up with something which they thought they should have had, but really they're just walking into destruction, like that.
Yeah. 100.
Big up JW, don't know.
Mm, yeah, man. So this parenting. I guess I want to start this whole parenting conversation from the beginning because I always say to my friends that haven't had children, yeah, and I asked Tay this question. I said to him, when I had Tay, which when when giving birth, the birth of your child is mad. It's like
Crazy,
you go through the
innit?
whole 9 months, don't you? And it's not really. You just see this bump, and you're playing around with this bump. You're, you're like, oh, it's precious, and whatever. I rub the back, and all right, what do you want? What do you want me to get you? And but it's not. You're not really connected with that bump like that kind of thing. It's the mum. It's growing inside the mum. You go to labor, and the baby pops out, and bang, instantly, I'm gonna die for that stranger. It's
Yeah. It's mad, innit? It's crazy.
it's like that love that you have for this being that hasn't even opened its eyes. It might have not even screamed yet. If you didn't know the sex, then you know the sex now. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Like you
No,
don't
it's
even
real, it's real, it's real, it's real.
his being, but the love that instantly connects in that room, you would die there and then. If a doctor said to me, "You got to die to keep this baby alive," then I'm gone. You know what I mean? And I asked Tay the same question, and he couldn't get his head around it. As a teenager, he couldn't get his head around it. He's like, "No, what? You could just make another one, though." And he was vexed that, wow, you would die for that child, but then what about me? And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I get where he's coming from, but I hope when he's older he will understand the sacrifice I made. Because I'm looking in my logical mind, I'm looking at, wow, you gotta look after that child when you're older. You understand me? You gotta be me. You've just becoming got into that role early kind of thing.
Yeah. No, it's real, it's real.
I mean, but yeah, man, parenting's not easy, man. At all levels. I got a 4-year-old and Tay's 17, he's 18 at the end of the year. So I got both spectrums right now.
So it's two kids you got, yeah?
Yeah, so I got one that's 4 named Kaysen, and I got one that's 17, Tay, who I do the reels with.
Okay. Alhamdulillah, man. Alhamdulillah.
I feel blessed. I feel Tay's at that point where, see, you know yourself. You get to these teenage years and you want to test waters. You want to push lines and boundaries. But overall, as a youth, he's a good youth. He's a good kid that's trying. And he's trying, he goes to work, he's going to college. You know what I mean? I couldn't ask much more from him apart from sometimes make better choices. Learn
You
from
done,
him.
I can see already you done a good job with him. Like what I've seen, obviously on the socials, I can already see that. Do you know what I'm saying? He knows what he wants to do because you're a strong father. You get me, and that's why it's important for dads to be in the household. You know, like that. Because when I was his age, boy, I was wild. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've
No
always said
one
a
and
woman
have any type of open conversation.
I always said a woman can only raise a man child to a certain age. And it's not because they're inadequate to, it's just that a male needs a male just to push them over that line, just to get them over the line. Because women don't understand about, like I said, testosterone and endorphins and the way a man thinks. You understand me?
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. Because women are like they're more of emotional beings. So it's like when they're raising boys, boys just need that mummy love to understand what it's like to have a woman around, if you get what I'm trying to say. But then
Yeah.
dads, they need us as they start turning the hitting puberty and they start going through certain things. Because we've already been there and we know how to deal with it as a man, you know, like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
Sorry, we got daddy. How do you pronounce it?
No,
Dedication.
brother. Is it dedication?
Dedication.
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 Yeah.
How we doing, my brothers? How we doing?
How
I'm
you doing?
blessed. Alhamdulillah. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed, my brother.
Thank you for the invite, man.
And thank you for jumping on. It's like even when I tell the people that follow me on the live, and obviously this gets recorded, and before I send it out, we will talk about that afterwards. But the thing for me is we linked up just over socials. I was saying this to Jamal, like it's crazy how we all live our lives daily and dedication. I've looked on your socials and I see you with your daughter. It's your daughter, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's my daughter, man.
Yeah, like you're ride or die. I see her beside you, and it's like I already know you kind of thing, man. It's a
Yeah,
mad
come
thing,
on. It's the
but it's
same.
good that this is the good thing about social media. This is what I like about social media.
This is
Social
how
media,
we meant to use it.
of course,
Yeah.
to be able to network, and like I've always said, it takes a village to raise our young
Mm-hmm.
from all walks of life. You know, like I always even my younger pals that I have around me that are like Tay's uncles, like I'm always going to them. I'm always just the other day when you saw on the socials that Tay got nicked, I said to them, I said to one of them, look, I can't even talk to him right now. One of you need to just come and get him and just talk with him right now, because you understand me? Because it takes a village. Sometimes dad's words will just go in one ear and out the other. That's what I found. Sometimes they won't stick, but if you hear it from a third source, a third party, you might see it differently.
100%.
You know,
So what's the topic today? What's been going on? I know
everything on all levels. We've been just talking across the board, really.
Yeah, man.
like you can introduce yourself, and I see that you do like. I want you to tell anyway. You do like workshops or things like that.
Yeah, man. So basically, right now I'm just freestyling with fatherhood. You know, I'm doing workshops. I'm doing father support groups. You know, we offer mentoring. So at the moment, I've got the drop-in session. So in Milton Keynes, there isn't anything for fathers. There's no outlet for fathers. There's no spaces for fathers. So yeah, this is what we started. So this week, really, I've been pushing it more, and bro, that's it, really, bro. I'm freestyling. I'm just passionate about fatherhood, as you two are as well, and you know, just seeing where it will take me, really, you know.
Yeah, man.
That's good, man.
No, I read that,
So
man. Big application.
yeah, man, and keep pushing it because it's needed. Both of your outlets is needed. So don't like I said, I always just try to be as real as I can all the time. Like I can't act. I can't. Whatever you see, like I will. I bump into people in the street and they'll say, "Well, I see a YouTube channel. Or I saw this and rah rah rah." And we'd have a great conversation. You understand me? And they're like, "Oh, you're just the same as you." And I said, "I can only be me. I can't act with this." You know what I mean? Because real recognizes real, and I need my son to take that philosophy on. I don't want I don't want him to be drawn into anything that's false. And you know
I
the
know what you're saying
roads.
because certain people put on the aura for social media, and then
Yeah,
when you see them in real life, they're just all shy and that, and you're just like, huh? Do you
yeah.
know what I'm
You're a
saying?
character. That's your alter ego. It's just to get
Yeah,
paid.
yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Like, and people say, "Oh, what? But you make money," and I'm like, "No, I don't. I spend more money. I spend more money trying to set this shit up than I
No,
do
yeah,
ever making any money. I don't focus on that. I haven't focused on that. That wasn't my play. But I'll be real with you. I did say to Tay when he got to 17, 18, if we come back into social media, all right, cool. Let's take it seriously a little bit, you know. So just for yourself. So whatever you want to do, if you want to stream gaming, if you wanna, then why not? Because other people are. So why not? It's a hobby you can turn into an
And
income.
sometimes you don't even know who's watching. Do you get what I'm saying? That can take you to the next level. You
Yeah,
know, like that.
type of interactions that we're having right now. All these doors are open. All these links when we're linking, and you know what I mean. It's not just this one live that are. Hopefully, in the future, we get to. I don't know whatever's happening. Maybe I can help, or maybe you can help me. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, it's
we
all
don't live
about collaborating, man.
sets are yet. You know what I mean? So, but it's all about networking, and that's the one thing. So, one of the questions I want to ask is, yeah,
yeah.
what have you learned from your child? What has your child taught
Ooh. One thing she's, you know, there's many things, but one thing that just come to mind is, you know, think before you speak. You know, that's just one of them because, you know, especially dealing. So I'm a full-time father. My daughter's 14 now, so you know we have loads of interactions, right? And
you? Yeah,
you know you gotta be mindful of how you say things and the tone and stuff like that because you know it's you know it might be misinterpreted. You know, you might say things a bit bluntly that they'll never forget in a sense.
yeah,
So yeah, like that's this one example of this, like certain things, you know, gotta be mindful of the way I word it or the way I phrase it or the way I say it, you know, because you could just slip up and say the wrong, you know, be too outspoken, and then they'll run with that. You know what I mean? In a sense, it's like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
but you said that, and it's
They're also naive sometimes. The first thing you tell them is what they're just gonna hold on to.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, there's many things, but yeah, that's one of them that comes to mind where you know certain times I just think extra of how I'm gonna respond to this because you know we don't want to create more issues or more drama. So that's one of the things, man. What about you?
Jamal, or what about
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
Oh yeah,
No,
any of you, bro?
yeah,
Is
go on.
this a question you done before?
No, 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 no.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jamal, man.
What is it you're asking again?
I'm asking, what's something that your child or your children have taught you? What
Uh,
lesson have you learned? Or what?
I'll just say patience. Just have patience
Yeah, patience is a big one, man.
because they'll test you in it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
you know,
And then yeah, just gotta have patience. Trying to say, brother. Yo,
I think every parent that's logged on right now that's got a child, they just fully understand. You don't even have to say no more when it comes to that. Patience,
yeah.
that
Trust
says a
me.
lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think,
yeah. Sometimes I feel like, yeah,
yeah,
because of how I am, I kind of like, especially with my son, I thought my son would be like me, but he's kind of the opposite of me, and my daughter's just like me.
Okay.
So when I'm expecting to react a certain way, he don't react like that. So then I used to get frustrated. Like, why are you not like me? And then I had to learn that, hold on, I need to have some patience and learn this child because he's not like me. Do you know what I'm saying? So I had to like get into like what he likes so he would bond with me, if that makes sense. Because like, for
yeah,
instance, if we're playing a game, I might be playing Call of Duty, but then he wants to play Roblox. And I'm thinking, what kind of game's that? What kind of idiot game is that? Do you know what I'm saying? But really, I shouldn't have been like that. I should have been like, yo, how do I play Roblox? Because then he'll be
yeah,
like, when I
Oh
started
yeah.
doing that, he started opening up, man. Do you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm
yeah,
saying, innit?
Yeah. I
yeah.
get it.
So
100%. I
that's
feel
all it
like
is, really. I just learned that patience is the key.
patience is the key, and like you said, when you play that game with him, them bonding sessions, they are priceless. And you know,
Priceless, man.
one thing that I've learned as well is that I'm never too old to be taught something, especially
Thank
from my
you.
children. I'm never
Thank
No,
you.
too
that's right.
old. It's taught me that I don't know it all, and I never will know it all. But it's good that my mind is open to learn. You know, um, yeah. I feel like parenting. There is no book for parenting. I come, like I told you earlier, Jamal. I come from a single parent family. I never had no father. Like I'm as free. You call it freestyling education. Then if that's what it's called, then that's what I'm doing. I've been doing that. I've been doing that for 17 years. You know
Yeah.
what I
Wow.
mean?
Yeah.
And just to
So
touch on the father situation. So you see, like with your dad, have you found a way to connect with him or anything? Or is it just a
no,
thing
I did
where
do a video on YouTube. So after my mum died, about a year later, I did do a video on YouTube because that was the first time I got a picture. I never saw my dad, but my wife always had a picture, or my mum had a picture that she gave to my wife, but I never ever looked at it until after she passed away. And then I did do a one, but you know what? I think I've got to the point where I guess I've got to the point where I've accepted my father could have passed away by now. Do you know what I mean? Or I'm probably never gonna find him. I've never moved from the area. I only live just a little way down from Fulton Heath. I've never moved away from my area. Like I've lived the same end, same road all of my life. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like you can't find me. It's not like you couldn't have found me. That was one of my grabs. It's like you know where I'm about.
because
Because
previously you said that you went to your nan's house and then they tried to act like
yeah, so my nan lived one road away from where I live. So it's
okay,
always
okay.
on the end. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like he couldn't have. But for me, I tell you, one of the mad things was, yeah, I had this picture that my father was this mature man. Yeah. In my mind, growing up, all the time growing up, I had this picture in my mind that he was this mature man and he didn't love me. And I hated this guy all of my life. And then one day after my mom passed away, I deeped it and said, and I was doing like a time scale in my head, yeah. He could have only had me when he was 21 to 25. And then I looked at myself when I was 21, 25. And I said, what did he know about love?
Mm.
I've been hating a man, thinking that he didn't love me, but he wasn't a grown man. He was still finding himself. 21, 25. That was the time frame I got into, was about 21, 25. I'm like, this man didn't know nothing about love. I've wasted my energy and my time hating somebody. And it was a real eye opener for me at that point to
Mm-hmm.
say, raw. But you can see as a child, this is why I take parenting really seriously. As a child, there wasn't nobody correcting that for me. You know what I mean? If anything, when I really deep it, my mum would. There was never a conversation about my father.
Mm.
My whole childhood. I remember going to school Father's Day. I'd be sat to the side. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's making Father's Day cards and not me. I
Yeah,
was doing
yeah.
another thing. That was it back in the day like that. Do you know what I mean?
So your mum
Father
just kept it proper zero.
zero, blankety blank. Like I said to you, it wasn't until I got to certain ages where I actually started asking questions.
Mm.
Okay, I get that. I get that. Because
Mm.
you're like, because it was the same thing for me. Like, because my dad wasn't there, I didn't ask questions because I was just like, I just dealt with what I could see. You get me? But then
Yeah,
that time I mentioned to you earlier when I actually visually saw him, I was like, yo, where's my dad? Where does he live? Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Where's
Because
my man?
yeah,
Yeah, 'cause I got the eye opener and I had a taste for it. You get me? And then obviously, yeah, man, that's just how it is, man. It's sad, but at the same time, it's just how life goes sometimes.
do you think there's such a thing as a favorite child,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
healthy or unhealthy?
100%. I'll be real. Do you know what I'm
I
saying?
don't
I'll
know
be
how many.
real.
What's your? I don't know how many kids. I've only got one. How many kids do you have?
I
I got,
got two. I
I
got
got
two. I got
two.
a 4-year-old and a 17-year-old.
Okay,
But
so both got
you know
two.
what? Let me recorrect myself. I wouldn't say there's favorites, but like I said, because I said my daughter's just like me, our bond's completely different to my son's bond. Like me and my son are still close, like we love each other and all of that. But me and my daughter, we just got this crazy connection. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like I wouldn't say like she's my favorite, but we got more of a connection.
Mm.
I don't know what it is, why it's like that. I don't know. It's just like that.
You
But
see,
I
I
would
have
never like pick one over the other. I love them both the same, you know, like that.
Mm.
dedication. I got a quick question for you.
Yeah, man.
If you can relate on this, because I can't. What is it like having a girl child? As because I have two boys, obviously, but I always think to myself, and I always bust this joke here, and I always say like, if I had a daughter, she'd have a chain around her foot. It could take her to the fridge in the front door. That's it. She ain't going out the yard. Like, no way, she's not going out the yard. Like, is it really like that? Like, is
I
it really
mean,
like
to be honest, I've been quite fortunate in maybe also because we recently moved to a new area like 3 or 4 years ago. So in terms of like the going out and stuff, she don't really have like a big crew around here, or a big friendship group, or even where we live. It's like you can't really just go out. If you want to go to the somewhere, you got to jump on a bus or something like that.
Okay.
But sorry, you were saying, how is it just raising a daughter or having a daughter?
child? Obviously, puberty, they have
Yeah,
development in their body that
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't understand. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't even understand. So
Yeah, but bro, I'm learning every day myself. Luckily, her mum is present. Of course, her mum is supports her with the girl stuff. I don't get involved with that really. Luckily, I don't really need to get involved with that. Her and her mum, they got that sorted. But yeah, it's I'm learning, right? But I was raised by a single mother, so not maybe I've learned some stuff from there, in terms of a female, but I don't know how it is to raise a son, but I'm learning every day, raising my daughter. I'm learning new things, like you said, puberty, and like all I can say is this researching and learning and books. I can't lie. I got a book called Raising Daughters, that has
Oh,
let me
big you
let
up,
me
man.
let me just show people the book.
Yeah, man, big you up, man. I like that, man. Dedication.
This book here, Raising Daughters. I recommend it. Raising Daughters, Raising
Well,
Girls. Sorry,
how can I get that?
online, Amazon. Raising Girls.
Okay, I'll get that, man.
So books like this, and you know, this is sort of give me a better insight, a better perspective to sort of try to understand where she's coming from as a you know, as a teenage girl, which is difficult in this day and age, you know. It's not easy at all. So it's challenging, but you know, every day is rewarding, you know, to be able to have your daughter, to have your child every day, raise her, you know, be there for her. It's a blessing, really, bro. It's a blessing.
Are you with the mother?
No, we're not together. We're not together.
Okay.
So I've had my daughter for 4 years now by myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, man. Alhamdulillah, man.
Thank
Hope
you, man.
everything works out, inshallah, man. Trust me. That's a good thing, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I
So
would say that with a daughter, it's taught me more about women.
yeah, 100%.
It's educated me more how women work, because it's like seeing her from a baby girl and how she reacts, and then you see how women react. It's the same thing, innit? Kind of thing. So she just taught me a lot about women, to be honest. But it's a beautiful thing, man.
It is, and also, you know, my daughter's been living with me for 4 years now, so she would have some of my traits, my male or masculine traits, you know, automatically she would sort of carry some of them, you know, because I'm the person she sees and deals with every day, you know. So she's gonna be, you know, she's gonna be learning from me as we know our kids learn from us, you know, whether we know it or not, you know, the little things, the subtle little things we do or say or how we respond to things, they soak it all up. So, you know, she has, I think, since living with me, she's been a bit tougher in a sense, in the way she maybe deals with situations. You know, it's kind of, I think that has benefited her to a degree. Yeah.
That's good, man.
Man.
Yeah, man, it's good. You know, one thing that I you know, like I said to you, I'm never too old to learn. Do you know one thing that I realized? You know, when a woman gives birth, yeah, after a woman gives birth, and this is away from, not away from parenting, but I think this is for the man them more than it is anything else. I think we don't really understand what a woman's body goes through after they give birth.
We
Like their
don't.
body
Yeah, we
needs to
don't.
go
No, we
back.
don't, man.
And I feel like that sometimes, because after my wife gave birth, yeah, we went through a little rocky patch. But I think that was to my lack of understanding, because I was expecting my wife to just have the baby. All right, cool. You need
Get
to
up and go. Yeah.
go. But I didn't realize that she needed time to. She wasn't feeling good about her body. Her body was inside, internally repairing itself, and you understand me? Like, obviously, the feeds 3 o'clock in the morning and whatever. Her time is off. You know what I mean? Like, and I guess that was one thing that I guess I try to push out there now, is that I was a bit, I guess, oblivious to what a woman actually goes through when it comes to giving birth to a child. After giving a child, we don't give them enough time to recover, and that in that stage is where conflict, I've found with many of the people I've spoke to, is where the most conflict happens, and it's due to a lack of understanding. Man like Els, big up yourself. JW wants to ask a question, but yeah, I just wanted to put that out there anyway.
No, but that's
JW, I got a question for you, lot. Going through the situations that you have been through, how did you deal with it, and what helped you manage it? And what advice would you give a younger father?
I would say just always be willing to learn.
Yep.
Always be willing to listen and learn at the same time.
Most definitely.
What would you manage it and advice? Hey, advice to a young father, man. There's so much advice, but just stay on it. You know what I mean? Stay on your duties. You know, your duties is 24/7. Learn your role as a father. You know, educate yourself. And like you said, I like what you pointed out. Is it Lito? Lito?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I like what you pointed out, because what we're trying to be working on with our local hospital is to provide like a little package for the young fathers, particularly under 25, right? Which will give
Yeah.
them information on on what you were saying right there, like information on how their bodies work for the female, for the for the girlfriend, and these kind of things. How best can they cater to her, and how best can they support her during this time? Because like you said, like a lot of friction happens during that time, isn't it?
Yeah.
After the child, like there's the pressure for the dad. He's now has to put, like I became a father at 17, right? And people are looking at me like, yeah, you gotta provide now, you gotta buy this buggies formula. I'm like, I'm in college. I'm getting them times, I'm getting EMA or something like that. Like this is years ago, getting like little £5, £10 a week. Like, but people are looking at me like, yeah, you're a father now. Like there's no you don't get no you don't get no there's no difference. Like your father, you have to provide. So like any advice for young fathers is just like you said, be willing to learn, speak to other fathers, just get a little knowledge of how things might look in the future, because a lot of us don't do it, and then we get hit with adversity, and then it might break a father, right? Because he wasn't expecting that he could not see his child all of a sudden, or he
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that all of a sudden he has to be a single father, which happened to me. So, but there's too much advice for a young father, man. Too much.
Yeah, that's yeah, I hear
Yeah.
that.
That's it. I feel like when I'm talking with Tay, because Tay's at that age of 17 now, and you saw the reels, you see the reels that I'm doing right now with him. I'm
Yeah.
talking those type of things, and it's like one of the big things right now that I'm trying to put into his head is please take your time when you're in a relationship to get to know that person before you have a child,
Oh,
because I
oh,
feel like that is very important.
It's so important. It's like, yeah.
yeah.
It's the biggest thing.
Now it's the
The mother
biggest thing.
Mm.
of your child, that's for life.
It'll make or
Yeah,
break you. It'll make up like you get the wrong one, boy.
Yeah, finished.
At
Yeah.
early age, 17, 18, nah, that could be.
people are looking at, oh, I need a man that's gonna provide for my daughter. Cool, no problem. I get that. I can respect that. I can understand that. You want the best for your child, but no one doesn't never look at raw. What about who you're gonna choose to be the mother of your child? Do you know what I mean? They don't flip this coin. It's normally talked about from the girl's perspective.
Mm,
Really, you really have to push into your children, like on both sides. But for me, I'm pushing to my sons, like, please take your time. This
And
is
you know
a
what's important as well? Learning about the girl's family as well, because that will teach you a
mm,
lot about the woman.
yep. What I'll give you
yeah.
an example. Tay's been with his girlfriend for a couple of years, yeah, and there was no staying over. There was none of that malarkey. Do you know what I mean? And I was glad that the other side of the family, her side of the family, had the same. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Mm,
They had the same stance. Do you know what I mean? Like so the longevity throughout their relationship, they never had that. And I know that that happens a lot. I've been young. Do you know what I mean? Like some you can go to certain girls, yeah. Do you know what I mean? At 17 or 16, and it's crazy to think that as parents we need to make sure we install those type of boundaries, and for them to understand that it's not easy, and it's important. Because I feel like if I was to let if I was to let him to just if I was to just let him at 16 stay in his room with his girlfriend, close the door, keep the door closed, I'm facilitating your movements. You know what I mean? I'm allowing you to do whatever you're doing, basically, without no guidance.
mm,
You know what I mean? And ultimately, for me, dedication, Jamal, that's somebody's daughter that's in my home. regardless that she's not my daughter, that's somebody's daughter. And how would I feel if that parent wasn't putting boundaries in place if it was my daughter? You have to sometimes I think we have to look at it from different perspectives, from a different parent's perspective, not just be consumed in our own child. So in that case, I would always want to protect the girl as much as I would want to protect my own son. And that's how I broke it down to him. Do you know what I mean? And he's always and he can take from that as well. And I hope that those kind of little nuggets that he will learn from is when he has a daughter, or if he has a daughter, he will like be like, raw. I remember when I was 16 and my father told me that the girl couldn't come over. Make sure you have that standard. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So yeah, I guess parenting, like you said, there's no book for parenting. There's no
Nah,
book. There's no magic wand. It's a everyday thing. We just got to be consistent out here. I think.
it's trial and error, isn't it?
Yeah, that takes me on to good old fashioned beating. Do you think, yeah, that children? Do you think that the government or society should be more lenient and there should be a good old fashioned beating? I'm not talking about adults that abuse their children and beat them to death and whatever. I'm just talking about a good old fashioned beating because I grew up on a beating.
I grew up in it.
Yeah,
I would just say, like, for me anyway, growing up as a teenager, I was more scared of my mum than I was of the police and anything else. So, like, I would happily tell people if there was something. I was like, nah, I'm stepping back because, nah, if I get caught, if my mum catches me, then I was never scared police or anything. It's just my mum, and it saved me from a lot. Just knowing those slaps, nah, it saved me.
yeah, because I feel like this new generation, because they're not getting those licks, it's like they're just out. Like they don't even respect other adults. Like when
Yeah,
I was young, I was always taught to respect someone that's older than you. Do you get what I'm saying? If they were like 3, 4 years older than you, 5 years, didn't really matter. As long as that person was older than you, I always had respect for that person because I thought, yo, if I disrespect that guy, he's gonna go to my mum or my grandma or my granddad. I'm gonna get boxes when I get home. Do you know what I'm saying? But now, because that's you can't do that no more. All these kids, they feel like they got a right, like they can say something to you. In reality, they shouldn't be able to, like that. So,
Yeah,
but
I
obviously,
remember when.
like you said, the abuse
Yeah,
thing, that's what shouldn't happen. But something, like a little firm something just to keep them in check. That's what should that's how it should be. But it's the world we
that's how
live
it's
in.
always been. That's how it's always been. I reckon. You've always got, you act out of character, out of line, put you back in line. That's it. That's how you.
100%, yeah,
Mm,
100%.
I remember when I was young, yeah, my mum, if big people come over, my mum, I'd automatically be upstairs. Like the respect levels back then, I'm just coming off the back of the last thing you said, Jamal. The respect levels nowadays, these kids, I just don't get it. Do you know what I mean? Like they think they can talk to big people a certain way, and I'm like, really? It's like,
no, it's just
Yeah, they don't understand about the word experience because like experience comes with the age that we at. But when they're young, they think they know it all, but you actually don't even know what you're talking about. When you're expressing yourself, you're doing it in the wrong way. But like I said, because of how society is today, it's so hard to like for example, I was out the other day and I had my tracksuit on, and then these kids come where I was, but then they were like looking at me. And then I had to say, yo, big man, come over here. And then he come over and he was all vexed. I said, do you know how old I am? And he was like, no. And I told him my age. He was like, oh, sorry, big man. Sorry, big man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to go out your way to make them know. But whereas back in the day, it weren't like that. You would just see a man that's older and just know yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's dangerous, man.
yeah.
How old are you, Jamal?
I'm 38.
38. Cool.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? That happened to my pal on the train on Saturday. and he was saying that he was wearing a tracksuit, and they must have been about 18 to 20, yeah. And one of them had lost their phone on the train. This was in Victoria train station. The train hasn't even left this platform yet. And about after 15 minutes of trying to search for this phone, he was on his phone, and they all surrounded him like, "Yo, show us your phone." And he had to get up from his chair, and like, which one am I gonna beat first?
Yeah. See what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm a big grown. He was in shock. He couldn't really understand like what was happening, and he phoned me. He phoned me to say to me, "Bro, you know what just happened to me?" I was like, "Bro," he said, "I can't even wear a tracksuit no more because these people think that I'm their age."
Exactly.
Hey, it's the same.
Yeah.
I'm 34. Obviously, I look younger, innit? And I get the same. Some of them, they be looking at me like, "Yo, who are you?" I'm like, look at them like, "Bro, I'm older than you, bro. Like, I'm not here to, I'm not playing that game, you know? Not playing that game at all." How many people we got in here? I can't really see. What's this on YouTube, yeah?
Yeah, I got 13 on here right now.
Yeah, big up everyone that's tuned
So
in.
is this just live on YouTube?
Yeah. So this goes live on YouTube and Twitch. I haven't really pushed my Twitch. I don't even really know how to deal with Twitch, to be honest with you. I only put it on there because this streaming app that I use allows me to stream to both of those channels. So I'm gonna put some work into the Twitch in future times. This has only been running for a couple of weeks now. So,
Okay.
So this is do like how your thing is YouTube. So, but yeah, I guess for me, where we've been doing YouTube, what I wanted to do was I wanted to be able, because I'm a person that will message you back in the messages. I'm trying to be interactive. If you've taken time to give me a message, I try to respond to as many as I can. Sometimes I can't because of work and whatever. But you might get a heart, or you might get a big up or a respect. But sometimes I try to really have conversations. But I said to myself, how can I interact with my subscribers? And I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna start a live session. I done a podcast, but that I finished that podcast, and my brother-in-law's moved to Thailand now, so now I was like, all right, I'm gonna start interacting with the subscribers by doing lives like this. It's a bit like a podcast, but it's not a podcast. But
Yeah.
they can come, and other people can come on and give their views and their accounts. Do you know what I mean? It's not just about me. It's about let's talk in it. Let's just talk it. Mr. E Games, you said that the email doesn't work. It's talkitden.contact@gmail.com. Yeah, try it again for me, but not capitals though. All lowercase.
Are you trying to log in?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So yeah, Jamal, bro, like let me know, because I know we got in contact recently, isn't it? So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everything's meant to happen, and whatever be will be. Like, that's just how life is. It's crazy. Yeah.
what's
So,
your
like, go on.
sorry, bro, what's your background? I know you do family rights. Is that what you sort of specialize in, or like what's your mission, bro?
Well, like I was explaining earlier, due to like I'm still in an ongoing situation where I'm battling to see my children. So, and it's been ongoing for like since 2016, 17. So my whole goal is, because I've been through it and I know all the ins and outs. I know if you do this, you're gonna go that way, and if you do this, you're gonna go that way. So there's a lot of dads I've met on my journey where I've met a couple people that have killed themselves, a couple people that are in a mental home, certain people that are just given up. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like, because I've been on the journey and I know I'm mentally stronger because I've gone through a lot in my childhood, which has made me resilient to certain conflicts in life, if that makes sense. So I thought to myself, I wanted to do this from ages ago, but obviously, you know how life is, things get in the way and you got to deal with it. So I wanted to put something together where I get fathers together and I just make sure that there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and just show them, as long as you wake up by the grace of Allah, that is your chance to keep on going. And if you're lost, which a lot of guys are because they don't know how to deal with it, I'm going to help them and get them through the next stage and just show them never give up. Because once you give up, you've lost the race, mate. You've lost. Do you know what I'm saying? As you know, because I can tell you've had your daughter, you said, for 4 years. So I can already tell what you've had to go through to get there. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But
it's always like give up and do what? That's always my thing. You know,
say again?
give up and do what?
Exactly. Give up and do what? But guys give up though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of men out there where you meet women, like actual good women, and they give up. Do you know what I'm saying? Because of a little, she said this or someone said that. And it's not about giving up because, like what I was conversating earlier, is the children are just innocent. They don't really know what's going on. They don't even understand life. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's our job as their fathers and mothers to make sure we educate them the right way.
No, and I respect it, bro. It's we need more, as many we can get, sort of fatherhood pages. That's just bringing it more to the forefront, and this so people know that now when I do become a father, I know there's places out there I can get in contact with to get some information. You know, there's different personalities in different areas. So yeah, man, respect to you.
Like even for example, one time I was at court and I see this guy, but he looked like a proper road kind of brother, like just fresh from the road. And as soon as I see him walk in, I remember walking him just like him. So I already knew his mentality. And then I watched him come out and he was just crying. And he was just like, I'm done. I'm not doing this again. And then I pulled him aside and I hugged him. And I said, listen, take my number and phone me when you get home. Yeah. I said, I'm not going to chat to you now, but phone me. He got home and he phoned me and I spoke to him and I literally guided him through everything. And now he's with his child. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But it just takes someone to give you that little piece of confidence just to keep pushing, like that. And then when I went through that, I was like, you know what? I can do this for the masses. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is my aim. And then I kind of want to get to a stage here where, because I know the court system is really expensive to get like barristers and solicitors and all of that, I want to get to a stage where I can raise finances for guys that can't afford it and I can just give it to them and say, yo, not actually give them the money, but provide them a barrister or a solicitor that will guide them the right way so they get the best case scenario for them, for their child, basically. So there's so much I want to do, that I'm going to do. But yeah, that's just part of the journey, basically. It's just keeping dads on the right path and making sure that they always respect women at the same time and they just do right by their children.
Yeah, this be good role models. This is what we aim to put out there, is to be good role models. We're trying to outdo all the negative role models. Like, we need to saturate people like ourselves, you know what I mean? Who doing good by our children. Just keep pushing that. I love what you're doing with the videos. Like, you just keep pushing them out. And even my daughter, I told her in the car, I'm going live, and she's like, oh yeah, I think I've seen some of the videos on YouTube shorts and stuff like that. So this is the kind of narrative we need for younger brothers and sisters. They can see that it's actually cooler to be a stand-up dad than it is to be anything else, really. You know what I mean?
What the mad thing is? The mad thing is for me, is that there's so many. What I'm doing is what you're doing, what we're all doing is not. It's not something that, like, somebody said to me, "Oh, you're a hero," and in the messages they're like, "You're a super dad." I'm not a super dad. I'm just a dad. Like, I think that we just do this in silence, and what gets the most attention is shit dads. I don't even call them dads. Half the time I don't even call them dads. You see, if a man wants to think that he's a dad, because he goes and sees his child on a Saturday, fills them with numbers and takes them to the fun fair, and then sends them back to their mum, and he thinks that that's a dad. Yeah, no, you're an uncle. That's an uncle move. That's what uncles do. That's what I do to my friends' kids. I'm Uncle Leo to my friends' kids. I will pick them up on a Saturday. I will fill them with E numbers. They can go and jump around on a trampoline, and I'll take them back to their mom. A dad has to install into their child. You have to install time, be consistent. I really think the justice system is failing dads in a big way. I really think that 50-50 parenting should be an option, a big option on the table. Not mum should be the primary carer and then dad picks up the pieces after.
We need to have, even for under 25s, there needs to be something mandatory for them to go to, whether it's a course, whether it's a organization that they can go and speak to, just to give them a little push, a little preparation pack for fatherhood. You know, I feel like that is needed because. But I was talking to actually Professor Anne Tarrant. She's from the University of Lincoln, and she works with young fathers, very knowledgeable. And like the fathers we don't get nothing. I was saying, like, I look young now, 34. At 17, bro, I look like a baby, right? And
well, you look proper young for your age.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, at 17, like, no facial and no nothing, I was thinking, like, no, people were seeing me at the hospital, like, I've just become a father, right? I'm in the hospital, I'm in the delivery room and all of that stuff. No one is coming to ask me, yo, bro, like, you okay? Like, you're about to become a father, like, you ready for the journey? You know, you know, I look like a baby, and it's just concerning that no one is coming over to me, even putting a little arm around me and just say, you know what, if you need any help, if you're struggling with anything, you know, give this organization a call. There's nothing, like nothing. People are just like, yo.
Yeah, you're 100% right, and you know what? It's very daunting. And men, we don't talk our feelings a lot. And I think that's one of our Achilles heels is we don't talk our feelings. We're always taught to be this strong being.
There's things I want to say, but I don't want to get your thing cancelled. I don't want to get the thing cancelled. Do you know what I'm saying? But I know where it is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I know where it is. It's just literally, to be kind of simple. It's just the way the system is laid out. Do you get it? Like, it's laid out to be this way for us to keep men like us down. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's just designed this way. So this is why we feel like, why is this happening? It's not fair, because it's not supposed to be fair, because they know once the man is out of the household, you know what I'm saying, innit? Once we're out the household, that's it. They've won, because that child now is going to grow up, ain't really going to respect mum. That they always love mummy. Do you know what I'm saying? Because mummy always does her best. Do you know what I'm saying? So you can never discredit mummy. But when daddy's gone, there's no more discipline. And then when there's no more discipline, that's it.
We got them. Yeah, we got them. They're easier to. Again, you're removing the protector, right? So if you remove the protector, it's easy access now for whomever to, you know, influence the child and or whatever. Like, they gravitating towards other people, right? Because the dad wasn't. And funny enough, I had a call today from a lady that was calling on behalf of her son, and she's starting to realize, right, the family course and how they're treating her son, and she's like, listen, I just want to go out there and march. I want to make banners. I just want to go out there and scream and you know, and it's like, I'm like, I'm with you. Like, I feel the same way, and many of us feel like that. And it was refreshing to hear it from like a lady, you know, a lady that's like, nah, this is not right, and she can't believe it, right? She can't really understand. This is really what's going on. I'm like, yeah, this is what's going on out here, and so I'm slowly. And she's written to the MP in our area. She's written to different people. They're not doing nothing. She's Fathers for Justice. She tried to reach out, but, you know, they're out of money now. Like, you know, her last resort was calling dedication, you know. And again, you know, we're happy to take on those kind of cases and support whoever. But yeah,
so, like, you have like
it was refreshing
barristers and lawyers. Do you work with them?
Say that again.
Do you work with like barristers and lawyers?
Nah.
Oh,
We don't work with them. Like not like in a bad way, but you know, we've only just started supporting fathers as a Mackenzie friend. So that's how we're working at the moment. But yeah, we haven't gone to a stage where we are too close with barristers and so. And I've seen, I mean, went to court the other day with a young father, 18, right? And he hasn't seen his son for a year. No, sorry, his daughter for a year and a half now. He hasn't seen her, right? So we applied for it in October. We put in the papers and stuff. He had his court date in January, right? And then so they couldn't open the file, like all his evidence and stuff like that. They couldn't open it, right? So they said, okay, we're gonna rebook it for March. They came back 2 weeks later and said, sorry, we're gonna rebook it for June, right? June. This was in January, right? He's still not seen his child. He's 18, right? And I'm thinking like, who's reaching out to him to say, yo, bro, are you okay? Like that's a long time now. Like mentally, are you all right? Do you need any help? Like no one is there. No one is there. You know, it's a cold world. And seeing how some of the solicitors are moving, I'm like, you're trying to help this person hinder him from seeing the child. I'm like, you lot are cold.
Evil, yes, evil.
Yeah, you lot are cold.
Yes,
making
cold,
up
yes,
allegations,
cold, yeah.
No pictures, right? They had no pictures, no evidence. All they had was this 32 paragraphs of straight slander. Like it's a cold. It's really cold. When I see them, some of them, obviously it's not everyone, but the way that solicitor there was moving and like the way she was talking to him while I was there, like this is a cold game. Cold game.
Cold,
I could never do that.
Fight. Yeah, like, I've been in court, and then obviously as a youth man, obviously I used to get up to I got up to, but I paid the price in it, and I ended up with a lot of convictions on my name. But obviously I'm not that guy anymore. Like that stopped about 20 years ago, 15 years ago, or whatever. So that when I'm in court, they're reading out stuff from 06, 04, 03. And I'm looking at them, they're like, yeah, you're a menace to society and all of this. And I'm like, no, I'm a father. I'm an account manager. I trade. I do so much. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and everything you're reading out is not even true. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, yeah, it's written in a certain way by certain government officials like police or whoever wrote this stuff about me. But it's just horrible that they use these things that got nothing to do with you in your present day, and it affects what happens with your children. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's a horrible thing to go through. Trust me, I've been there. And like what you said, where a barrister and a solicitor will represent someone that's lying, knowing they're lying.
Knowing they're lying.
They'll go the full way.
And they know they're lying, and they're like, okay, how can we add?
How can we
make the lie even more believable? It's like, it's cold. Like I'm like, yo, so you imagine waking up and being like, yeah, I gotta help this person stop a father from seeing his child, and I know that she's lying, but this is my job.
And I'm getting paid, yeah, exactly.
I'm getting paid to do it. It's like, how can you look yourself in the mirror, really? Like, how? And the way she's coming across, conniving, you know, she's trying to talk to him, and actually she's trying to, it was a good thing I was there, because you know, he's 18, just turned 18, right? So he's easy. He don't really know what's going on. And she's coming over trying to like befriend him. I had to tell him they're not our friends. Like these, don't get it twisted. These are not our friends. This person will stop you from seeing your child for life if it was down for her. So
if it was down to them, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, don't get too. They'll come over, be friendly, try to gain information of you. They're trying to read you, trying to know what you got, what your next move is. And tell her respectfully, you know. Let's keep that little professional distance, you know. Don't get to give them too much information, because they'll turn around and they'll use that information on you, and that will stop you from seeing your child for another year or two.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Like I said, I'm living it. Like I'm currently living it, and it's horrible. But like I said, because I don't give up, like the more persistent you are, the other party starts to crack. And there's only so much Like, it doesn't matter how much like the system's laid out. It's like what's fair is fair, and what's unfair is unfair. So yeah, you can keep saying this guy's the aggressor, this guy's the aggressor, or she's the aggressor, she's the aggressor. But the more persistent you are, you know, like if you did the crime, you're not gonna keep going and going and going and going and going. You're just gonna be like, you know what, let me just back off because I actually did half the things like what they're telling me, you know what I'm saying? But if you didn't and they're saying you did, you need to keep going because you didn't do it. And you just need to prove your innocence, and that's just how it goes. Obviously, it's long, but you just, like I said, you gotta keep going.
Yeah, you 100%. You have to. And like we said before, earlier on, Jamal, like your persistence will pay off, and kids won't be kids forever. Do you know what I mean? And hopefully, we get a better system in place. That's the first thing. First things first. This system is not designed for the male. It's
Nah,
definitely
it's
designed
not, man. It's not. It's not.
for
Even just to touch on that, yeah. I remember I was in a meeting the other day, and then the woman that I was having the conversation, I'm not gonna say who was who because obviously everything's ongoing. But a woman I was speaking to that was higher up, she told me to calm back on how I send messages, even though the messages I was sending were so professional, because she said I'm opening up myself for domestic violence. And all I'm saying is, why are you not making me speak to my children? But she's saying, yeah, but you keep saying it. And I said, well, what else am I supposed to say? And she said, say nothing. So I was like, okay. Do you know what I mean?
as mad as what you're saying sounds. I've got a pal that said to me, he got to a point where he wouldn't engage with nobody, like not by email, not nothing. He got to a point in his battle where he's not engaging because every time he engaged, they try to do the same thing, use it as a form of bullying or a form of
Yeah.
Harassment.
Yeah.
he was like, no, this is not bullying. If it's a bully, then I'll show you what a bully is. But
All
this
right,
is not.
then.
This is me being assertive and showing you that I'm not going away. Basically, I'm here for the long run. But like I said, I hope your situation gets better, Jamal. I hope that you get all that you're supposed to get and more.
Let me
My
just
last
say this. Sorry,
my
sorry
last
to.
question is this: I want to know what's been your biggest challenge to date as a parent.
Who are you asking?
Dedication, you go first.
No, Jamal, man, he was thinking about that. He was
Yeah,
ready
I'll
to
just
say
think, yeah,
something.
you might as well just go because that one's a bad one
But
for
my
me.
biggest
Yeah.
challenge. What I want to say quickly though, with even in regards to Jamal, yeah. So before I had my daughter full time, I wasn't able to see her for 8 months, right? And if someone had told me that you're gonna have her full time, I would have laughed, right? I would have said full time. I'm not even allowed to see her one time. So like 8 months later, I don't know how the universe done its thing, yeah, but I had her full time, right? So that's this that's my story, and like it could like you said that's because I never stopped, right? I didn't give up, right? So I went
Exactly.
from
You
not
never
seeing my
gave up,
daughter
bro. I
huh?
big you up, man. Seriously, big you up, man. Trust me.
No, thank you, bro, and big up yourself, big up yourself as well. But that's why I mean just don't give up, because you never know, something might happen. She might be like, you know what, take both of them, you know, like that's how it was with me. Take them, yeah, you want to take
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, I didn't even know. But like, I didn't know, like now we talking like this on the podcast, it could be in 2 months time you got them full time, right? So it's you just never know what's around the corner. That's what I wanted to say about that
Yeah,
one there.
inshallah.
But the hardest thing, what was the question? Hardest thing so far?
The biggest challenge
Biggest
you've had
challenge.
as a parent.
I would I would say one thing just for my situation right now as a single parent, yeah, is that because I got my daughter, right, is my time is limited, right? So I feel like as men we builders, right? We wasn't really meant to just sit at home and look after the kids. Like we was given some different mechanisms, right, to go out there and build and lift things and you know
Yeah,
create
yeah,
legacies and stuff like that. Um, Sometimes that could be, especially in the beginning, it can be a little bit stressful because you know at the same time I need to be present, but in the other mind I need to like create something. You know, I need to you know create a name for myself, a legacy. Like my family tree needs to be make sure that it's good for the future, and that's a challenge. That was a challenge more for me in the beginning. You know, finding the balance between you know being a parent, but also being a man. You know, who needs to create. That, for me anyway. For everyone is different, but that
Put
was
in
one of
place
the.
to get that balance.
Huh?
What did you put in place to get that balance?
I don't know if I subconsciously, you know, I don't know if I put anything. It's this I just got settled in with that now. I can't make the movements that I did before. You know what I mean? Like as when I didn't have my daughter, I was doing different business stuff, but I just had the time, you know. You had so much time before. Like you can do all nighters. I was working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, like had so much time, isn't it? But I don't know. I don't really know. I just think over time, I just learned how to sort of just calm it down a little bit. The energy to go out there and build, and then really, I think when I started doing dedication, it was like, yo, this is helping both sides. You know, I'm learning more about fatherhood, which is helping me to be a better father. So it's just the perfect marriage in a sense. Um, but yeah, I mean, time is a challenge for me. I can't lie. I only got certain days, you know, between when I drop her off at school and till I pick up. That my time is limited, right? To really make the moves that I need to be making. But um, but yeah, man, that's a little bit of it. It was more of a challenge in the beginning, but there's been many, man. We don't even have enough time on this life to go through them. So that was my little part. That
How
was
about
my
you,
one.
Jamal?
I would just say the biggest challenge is raising children not in the same household as the mum. And when I say that, I don't want meaning like I want to be with the mum. It's just hard because, for instance, like I'm a Muslim and she's Christian. So it's like if I want to input my kind of way of life towards my children, they're going to go back home and it's going to be completely different. If that makes any sense. So it's that's what the hardest thing is. Like that's the best example I can give. Like I can have a style, I can have a way of living, but when they go back to their mum will have the opposite way of living. Like obviously I don't eat bacon, but she eats bacon. So then she'll give my kids bacon, but I can't call her and say, don't give my kids bacon. She'll be like, shut up, come off my phone. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like whereas you, Leo, because you're in the same household,
Yeah,
everything is all in one pot.
yeah,
Where because my team's separated, it's just hard. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like it's just hard because you can go through things where the mum might be like, I don't know, like she might say something negative about me and it will confuse the child. Then my child will come to my household and then be thinking, hold on, my dad don't do that. Look how he's moving here. Do you know what I'm saying? But they can't question nothing because they're children. So it builds confusion within the children, if that makes sense. So that's just all it is. The separate household thing. It's just so hard.
and that's another thing that's toxic. You know, when parents want their children.
What's yours, bro?
I think that's very toxic. Mine, what's been my challenging? I'll be honest with you. Um, I think my most challenging to date is
One sec, guys. One sec.
wait for it to come back.
Yeah, boy. How many people we got in here now?
19.
Huh?
19.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Sorry.
19. Yeah, I think for me the most challenging thing for me right now is making my eldest son, first of all, understand that not everything that he sees on his phone or that's thrown to him prematurely through technology, he must believe and trust it. I think his like I will have this thing where I would try to teach him, or I try to break something down to him, and he will say, "Yeah, but my friend or Google said or Snapchat said or you understand me," and I'm like, it's hard because
Yeah.
they actually believe it, you know. Like,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
get it wrong, you know, they believe in this handheld device. Anything that's on there, they believe. They will tell you it's gospel. No, 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 it's gospel. And I'm like, no, please. I need you to slow down and understand that not everything you see, you must believe. That's a perception, right? I said, and the easiest way I try to break it, or the way I've found, I guess one of the solutions I've found is I made him understand that. Do you know how easy it is? Because I have to go down to his level sometimes of how he thinks. Because one thing as well about parenting is I can't parent how I was parented because technology's come now. The level of technology and the level of the way life is now wasn't the way it was when my mum was parenting me. So I can't use all of them parenting skills now. I have to now adapt to the way technology is, the way the kids are now. Our kids are subjected to information from an early age. Do you know what I mean? So the easiest way I found to tell him was, you see Instagram when he's liking a post and he sees a man with a nice car and a watch on. I said, do you know how easy it is to put on a fake watch, borrow your brethren's car, park it outside a, a mansion in Wimbledon, take a photo and say that's your car? I said, it's easy. It's a picture. It tells 1,000 lies. You know? So that's my biggest challenge with him is just trying to level him out to understand that not everything he hears or sees he must believe. With my youngest one now, he's just active. He's a 4-year-old that doesn't have a chill in him. So I guess for me, it's patience. Is learning that this little bundle of joy is gonna test me because I'm at an age where I want chill. Do you understand me? And
Yeah,
he just wants
yeah.
and going and going and going. Even when he's tired, he wants to keep going. Do you know what I mean? So I guess yeah, for the youngest one, I'm learning a bit more patience is needed. Just to
And
know that my
I recognize that. I tell my daughter, not literally that everything is a facade, but damn near everything is a facade. She'll pick up stuff in the shop, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's healthy. It's eco. It's all of this." It's like,
apples on it.
huh? Yeah,
It's got
it's saying
apples
that
on
it's
it.
healthy. You know how products and branding is. It's this. It's they'll see it and be like, no, it's healthy. It's like, nah, that's not healthy. I know it says healthy on it, but it's actually not healthy. You know what I mean? Like my daughter's school saying they pride themselves on being a phone-free school. They all got phones there, But on the outside, looking at the banner, it says phone-free school. But that's the facade. Inside the school, phones are prevalent. So, that's one thing I'll tell her, you can't believe everything. Gotta make your own judgment out there.
You do, man. It's like it's not going off. There was a brother. Did you hear about the brother that back in the back a couple of years ago that sued Red Bull?
No, I ain't heard that one, you know.
The brother sued Red Bull because the slogan was that it could give him wings and make him fly.
Oh no, I did hear that still. I heard that still, yeah.
He got
Yeah, yeah,
millions.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy, isn't it?
you
Yeah,
know.
it's crazy.
But you know what? I'm glad we have to do this more. As in men, we need to talk more. We need to But you know yourself. Like, we will talk. You might touch on a subject in your social circles, but we don't talk like this.
Yeah, look,
Very
I've never met you two in my life. We've been on the thing nearly 2 hours. There's so much to go over. Do you know what I'm saying? There's so much
like we
us
just
to
started
go
the
through.
conversation. It feels like to
Yeah,
me that we
like man's just
carry on.
started. Man's just started, brother. So like we need more of this. We definitely need more of this, man. Trust me. There's
There
too
should
much going on.
really there should be like hundreds in here, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
hundreds. This like one big
But I want to revisit, like I
community.
said to Jamal, yeah. I want to revisit. See topics like this. I'm not one of these people, yeah. That we've done this topic, tick it off, and then let's move on to the next. Like I was talking about kids being pawns 2 weeks ago, so I'm glad it come back up again today. Do you know what I mean? Like
It's what?
kids being pawns in relationships.
Okay,
That
yeah,
was
yeah,
what
yeah.
I done 2 weeks ago on this live, and I'm like, I'm like, these are ongoing conversations. They need to be repeated and they need to come back up again. It's not something I don't want us to pick back up again. Let's see what this says. Daniel, it's so nice to see fathers who actually want to be in their children's lives. I've been in a situation when my eldest son's dad did the worst and basically abandoned my son, who's now 18. Danielle, man.
yeah. Big up Daniel, man. Big up Daniel.
Yeah, big up Daniel.
You know, single parent mothers, and my mum was my superhero. No matter what I've got to say about her, no matter about my life story, my mum was my superhero, man, and she would always be my superhero. We're all out here, and we can all
Yeah,
make mistakes.
man.
It is what it is. But Danielle, you know what? You see, you're the father of your child. I hope that he fixes up, and if he doesn't, that's gonna be his loss at the end of the day. And just tell your son that to keep pushing, man, and keep believing in himself. That's the advice I would always
Mm,
give. Don't
mm.
let that situation make him not keep pushing himself and believing in himself because that's on the father, not on him. Like
Hey
I said
guys,
before,
my battery's gonna run out in a minute, yeah. So I'm gonna
okay,
log out.
no problem. Thank you
But
for
yeah,
coming
man.
on. We're
Hey,
a
Danny,
message after,
we're gonna catch up, man. Trust me.
yeah, and maybe we'll link up. Maybe we can link up again and maybe do a vlog or whatever. I
No,
don't know.
I was thinking about today. I was thinking like us, you know, when they do like an influencer link up, like we
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
do one for like people that are in the fatherhood space. Like, and there's so
yeah.
many I want to meet. Like
One
we
hundred.
should try and arrange something like that. You know, if you guys are on it,
I'm all for it, bro. I'm
like an
all for it.
annual Father's Day link up, like
Yeah,
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 something,
yeah.
something mad, something big still.
100%.
yeah, man. I'm
All right,
down.
my
I'm
bros, have
down.
a good evening. Yeah, catch up
And
soon.
Like
you,
I
right?
said,
Everyone else, have a
big
good
yourself
evening.
up, man. Trust me.
Salute.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's been good, man. Just do this.
Oh no, where you gone? Oh, there you are.
You know what? I always do. They will tell you. They will tell you on the show. There's this thing on the mouse here. I use an iMac here, but the thing on the mouse here is sensitive, and if I push too far down, it kicks me out. I have to come all
Oh,
the way back into my
oh,
own studio.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
kicking
yeah.
me out. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what, Jamal? I appreciate you took time out of your day. I appreciate that we've linked, like, and I'm definitely keeping the link 100%. You understand where I'm coming from, man?
Yeah, brother, man. Trust me, man. This.
So like, hopefully we can get a couple more movements, like he said. Even if it's a dating or whatever. Let's everybody put our heads together and come up with some positive movements. You see me?
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm all for it, man. For the movement to like, just if we could make a change, that's just enough. You know what I'm saying? It's all about making a change.
Yeah, man. 100.
And big up Daniel again.
Yeah, man. Big up Daniel. So your final thoughts?
All I would say is to all fathers and mothers, just keep pushing positivity towards your children and always keep them at the forefront of everything. And always remember they're so young, they don't even know what's going on. So anything that could be negative, just keep an umbrella of negativity away from that child if you can. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, children are like sponges, they absorb everything. And then when they get older, it all oozes out. And then when it oozes out, it's going to be pain you ain't going to be able to manage. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you can, just do the best by your child. Obviously, I'm trying, you're trying. This is what we're here for. And that's just literally all I got to say as an outro message. And obviously, like all the fathers that are out there, I'm here for you. And you'll see within the future what I'm going to do for you guys. And even mothers too. It's not even trying to single out the women, even mothers too. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get my rights for fathers kind of, it's just for men, it's for women too. But obviously, there's a lot of men suffering. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, I need to stick up for them.
Come on. I'll make sure that we link after. I'm gonna send you a message and we'll have a quick talk afterwards. You see me?
Oh,
Or even
yeah, man.
you know what I mean? But let's just keep the link, yeah?
All right, my brother. Take care of yourself, man. Thank you for bringing me on. Yeah,
No
done, man.
problem.
All right,
All
my
right.
brother.
Yeah, you know, like this one. Who's that Tay? This one, we can talk about this. This is something that I would definitely be revisiting and revisiting. Like we can talk about this for a hot minute. Parenting, there's no book for it. You know what I mean? So anybody in the that's on the live, somebody tell me a challenging something that's been challenging. If you're a parent, tell me something that's been challenging for you. I'm gonna quickly look for somebody sent me some. You know, today, yeah. Today I had Tay and he was on community service, dad's community service, yeah. We done the garden, I don't know. You that's on my socials, you would have seen it. You know, my arms are killing me. I didn't. Oh man. But all credit due to him. He stuck it out. Garden's coming along. I'll show you lot. Japan, well, go on. Mr. Khalif, man. Well, go on. Long time, you know, big man. Mr. Big Man, long time. Soon I need to come. We need to link up, man. Don't think I forgot about that. So I'm asking, I don't know if you just jumped on, I'm asking, what challenges or what is one of your biggest challenges that you've had as a parent? With the wife? The wife. Hello, sir. What's been one of your biggest challenges? Come and say hello to you. Hmm. Look, you're here. Say hello to the people. They respected your work ethic. Hmm. What? What do you mean you didn't show good? What do you mean? Because you had to. Nah, there's no way, man. There was no way. Yeah, pull up a seat for a sec. There was no way on earth I was gonna be out there when it was his community service day. Yeah, and I'm doing that on my own. Tony, oh, big up yourself. My, come on, all love. You're gonna become the producer for me. I'm gonna need a producer, like that does pushes with the buttons and like on LBC. Do you listen to LBC? Do you even know what LBC is? Let's not even go there. And then I basically need someone to do the background. Like, look, you can do things like this. Stop that banner rolling, make the banner roll. You can put up pictures. You can share the screen. You can do that yourself. No, but that's such a useless job. You can do like. You see what your chair's done? Do you know how lazy that is? Do you see what your chair's done? Look, now they're on to me. How tall is Leo? This is what your chair's done, this chair that you got me. Huh? Is it not more comfortable? It is more comfortable, but now I've got people like Big Mon. Remember Big Mon who sent us the care package? Yeah. Remember the care package from Japan? Yeah. Them mad crisps. Yeah. He says, I'm 5'9", and the police station didn't tell me that. Yeah. What? You're 5'9". Mom, how tall are you? How tall is that 5'9"? Me? No, I'm 5'9". Okay. From this day forth, your nephew, see? Yo, big man, tell him about his showering thing, man. That showering thing, man. Come on, man. These teenagers, I don't understand them. I'm starting to learn a lot from these father and son convos, Starting to learn a lot. Does it look blurry? All right, so this is the end part. So you know what? Seeing as I've got Tay here for a minute, hear what you can do. I'm gonna put it out there. You can ask us a question. Let's go. Let's freestyle this. Ask us a question. Or ask Tay a question. Are you really on live? Asking your mom to run you a bar? I do shower. I never said I didn't shower. I just said I don't shower for the fun of it. That's basically what I said. I don't shower for the fun of it. I don't smell. Do I smell? I'm not smelling you. You're mad. You are my wife for that. Pause. Man, don't smell, man. Sorry. Pause for that. You want me to smell you? Brother, no way. If your room, I wasn't lying on the real. Your room smells like foot. See? Even. You see, look. DHA, big up yourself. Come on, just one. Okay. As Taze, has Tay cleaned his room since? If this camera wasn't plugged in, I'd take you right there, right now. I'm mad with it. Oh, wait there. I can actually show you what his room looks like. I can share it. The clothes aren't there. Okay. Why? He wants to know why you can't keep your room tidy. Here, you put this on. No, you don't even need that because there's no one on the line yet. And you talk into the microphone and answer the questions, and you push the button. This button here. Look, yeah. The comments will come up here. I'll be back in 1 second. Tell them to ask you a question.
See what I mean? I see me. This is what I said the other day. I don't like leaving my room because I just get drawn into doing stuff. To be honest, look, I come here thinking I'll be here for 30 seconds. Yeah, you lot, I big up and that. Well, when, and look, I'm now on the live and that ain't gonna come back. Let's look at it. How did you find secondary? How did you find secondary school, keeping out of trouble and not getting influenced by their own kids? Secondary school, all my friends were like, none of my friends. I was like the set one guy who I didn't really. I only spoke to people in my class, in class, and then my other friends. I'll mix with them in break time, but I just played sports. To be honest, I just played sports. That's how I get out of trouble. Sport, basketball. And it'll take fix up how. There's a lot of things people could tell me to fix up on. Listen to your dad. Only got one. I do listen to my dad. Dad, would you say I listen to you? Yeah. Say, would you start doing Twitch streams in the future? Yeah, once the thing builds up, then 100%. Twitch is a good way. But it's just Twitch is so hard to grow. Like if you know, I've probably seen the TikToks. Like TikTok's very easy to grow, like to get out there. Like we've been doing it for 4 years, and we got a fan base and kept the fan base, but we never really expanded it. But TikTok's been allowed us to expand it. Are you ever gonna make music again? Nah, never again, because I couldn't. I feel like what is there to rap about? What can I rap about? Unless maybe I was an R&B singer, but that's definitely not me. Yeah, thank you, K-Fun. Thank you. Everyone's been telling me the vids are funny. I don't really see the funniness in it. To be honest, I actually don't see that because obviously it's me doing it. But the comments that we've been getting, I realized that I'm actually doing something. And if you're wondering why I've got paint on my hands, I've been painting all day. Is this on my face? I can't even see. Did you not feel pressure to fit in? Why did I feel pressure to fit in anywhere? I just fit in naturally. I would never, ever. If you have to feel pressured to fit in with people, they're not your people. That's facts. If you have to feel pressure to, that's facts. Thank you. From day one, I told myself to always be strong and to a great young man. The hardest has been dealing with racism towards my boy from narrow-minded people. I feel like it's just all. I feel like racism just happens to everyone in different ways, but no one's really been. No one's. There's been racist jokes that I mean, some people in my life can say racist jokes and some people can't. It depends how your friendship is. But I've never really experienced that proper racism where I felt offended. But people who are racist, people who are racist just do it for a reaction. We don't really live in a generation where people actually hate someone because of their skin color, and if they do, then it's obviously grown from somewhere. But I feel like in this generation, everyone like there's so many cultures. My mates got bagged for sitting in a stolen whip. I was about to hop in and 21st got pulled up. I ain't got caught, but my mates did. We are all 17 and 100. Listen to your dad's advice after that. Well, there's no reason to be in a stolen car if you have no purpose of being in a stolen car. What's your purpose of being in a stolen car? There's no purpose. So I would just say avoid situations that you don't need to be in. But yeah, take it as a lesson. Take it as a moment of clarity. Yeah, that's good. Your dad's going to check your room. Your father's doing what most can't do, which is be a great father. So stay legal, grinding, and save your money for the future, and try not to live fast. Yeah, that's what I've been learning these last couple of weeks, man. Patience. We all need patience. We all need patience. You can rap about uni. I'm not. I don't think I'm built for uni. I'm not really for uni. I feel like there's so many opportunities we have in the world here, like social media, like so many more things than what you need to do. Like I feel like the only reason why I go uni is if there was something, if there was oh, wow. If there was a reason to go university. Like, do I want to go to uni and like get this specific job? But right now, I haven't got no aspirations to get a real proper job like what I would want to do for the rest of my life. Because I feel like there's so much more easier ways to get paid. So many. It's just all about consistency. Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you. I swear I recognize this name from back in the day, Mama Bogle. I swear, Dad, wasn't Mama Bogle? I swear she's been there for ages. She's been watching YouTube for ages. Yeah, because a lot of kids nowadays feel like they have to have the nicest brand clothes trainers from that perspective. In my opinion, I don't really. I don't know. Maybe, but maybe I've never really seen it. I feel like naturally everyone would want to buy their own pair of nice stuff, like to. But I feel like having the what do you class as the nicest brand of clothes? How high value designer or general clothing? Like, but definitely if you lot are buying designer, it's not worth it, man. Maybe once in a while, but if you buy a lot of designer, it's just a waste of money. That means if you buy designer on a frequent basis, that means you must have money to just stash away. Because I don't know what's wrong with an actress. Listen more to you or thank him in the future trust. I've always listened to my dad. I've always listened to him. I've made some decisions on my own. But everything's a lesson. We let you take lessons in life. Dad, I told you that I knew you this is what you was gonna do, you know. You was gonna go and just not and not come back.
Let me just wait. Let me just you stay right there.
Mm.
Do you know that my work rate is edit the videos, find the reels, upload the YouTube, do the lives, buy the equipment, set up the equipment. Sometimes, yeah, you gotta tag in, man. Tag team. You got time right now.
This isn't my style, man. Being live. What's one thing you have learned from your dad's talks? What have I learned? Don't get nipped. No, but that's not really something I've learned. I've learned how to prevent myself from getting nipped. That sounds better. But I feel like I don't really have a specific because Dad wants to give me. I don't know if it's a lecture. Would you call it a lecture, Dad? Dad likes to give me advice for 30 minutes, 45 minutes a day, and like does not stop. So there's so many lessons, things he's taught me in life because he just doesn't stop every single day. And sometimes I do sometimes wish that he just stops talking, but it's all for the better. What's one thing you've learned from your dad's talks? Um, I know. At least you just. Oh, man, damn, at least you know. At least you just answered the question. Yeah, I went around the houses. Yeah. I'm not. Everyone. Do I actually look that like? No, I do actually look like. But I'm just tired. I ain't done nothing today. I literally went bed at 5 o'clock. Dad woke me up at 10 o'clock. Made me work at the garden. Cool. And then started doing some trading. Went to my nan's house. Met a couple of my friends. Went on. I don't know what that is. What's a horse? What you saying? Oh, dad. I'm starting to get socially awkward. I can't even do this. Looking at. Oh, I can't sit here and respond to.
Ask someone to go live. You're being socially awkward. Somebody who wants to go live, just message us in the message. Go live with Tay. Go live with Tay. Email us at toolkitden.contact. It's right here. The email is right at the bottom there. Yeah. Why you don't try to push me? You're trying to get out. Oh. See, this is the multitasking part that I can't do. You're gonna see a window drop up there. You have to let them in. It's called backstage. Yeah. So fun. Well, go on. What's with the social anxiety? What is it that about? You didn't have social anxiety a minute ago. You've been talking for a minute, you know.
Yeah, no. I think I had enough talking.
Oh, so now you want to your attention span is
Mm-hmm.
your attention span. All right, just have a 5 minute conversation with somebody on the live. Mm, enjoy this time with your father. You've been blessed to have him. Would you say that our what would you all right, if you had to describe our relationship, how would you describe it?
How do I describe it?
Yeah.
It's calm. It's calm. It's good.
Right?
Yeah.
uh, why did you paint yourself?
No, obviously it's cool.
The paint is for the decking, please. Don't waste it on your skin. We're just waiting for someone to come on the live quickly. But if you want to jump on the live, let's see if anyone's gonna go live with Tay. You know, Tay balls that he's socially awkward. I don't believe it. You think he would start over a computer screen?
No, but I can't speak to like I can't speak to people who like I don't know. I feel like a conversation with an adult is just feels forced. You know what I mean?
You mean fools?
Like
Curtis, I've just seen you. Curtis, are you still on the live? See what I got to get notifications up. See, I haven't got no notifications up.
I feel like speaking to an adult isn't really a general conversation.
Put your headphones on.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Give him some words of wisdom, T.
Well, what are we talking about? I don't know. I don't know what the subject matter.
Can you hear him?
No, you talk to him.
Why don't you just take off the headphones?
I can't take off the headphones. Got gadgets, no.
What? Where did you get this from?
How come I can't hear you properly?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but your dad sounds very faint.
Oh yeah, no, because of the headphones.
Oh.
But he isn't social as he used to be. He's gotten much better over the years. I feel like I was socially awkward because it was more of a lesson.
Socially
what,
awkward.
like what can you say? What can you say when someone's trying to teach you something?
Say it again, Tay.
What can you say when someone's trying to teach you something?
Well, the best thing you can do if they're older than you, the best thing you can do is take the time to listen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just listen. I can't really say much.
As long as you take the time to listen, and that's the best thing that you can honestly do for both parties, so that the party that has something to relay tells you what needs to be said, and also the fact that even if you don't listen to it, the universe knows that at some point in time you was given that message. So whether you chose to listen to it or not is irrespective of whatever comes around the corner. Because of neglect to that message is the reason why you felt it like that.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Because it didn't cost you to listen. It didn't cost you nothing to listen. It cost you maybe a little bit of time, but it didn't cost you anything really.
Well, I gotta listen every single day for like an hour.
And obviously, as a bigger man, there's certain things that I wish I'd listened to more when I was told. So otherwise, there were certain roads and avenues I would have end up going down. You get it?
Yeah.
So that's just something you just learn through trial and error. And obviously, when you get someone a bit older and a bit more experienced, just trying to tell you that, I've been through a bit more trial and errors. There's nothing wrong with listening to them.
Yeah,
Right?
no, 100%.
So what happened to you the other day? What happened to you? What happened to you the other day? What was you doing chores for?
Huh?
What was you doing chores for? What happened to you the other day?
What when I got nipped?
What did you get arrested for?
Dad, can I say what I got arrested for?
If it's over and done, if it's nothing pending, then if it's over and done with,
Nah, it's not over. I'm done with it.
it's not over and done with. Then no, let's not talk about it then.
But yeah, that was a lesson. That was a big lesson in life. A very big.
Yeah, but big and serious though. What your dad was saying to you. How old you take?
17.
But you're still not old enough. You're still not old enough to not have an appropriate adult.
Yeah, no. 100%.
So how would you have got out of there?
But I swear, is a duty-free solicitor not appropriate adult? I'm not saying are they meant to be appropriate adult, but I'm saying in the law, are they not appropriate adult?
They would be considered as such, but then
Yeah.
you would secretly be admitting to being some sort of orphan or ward.
What's that?
An orphan.
What does the orphan mean?
Huh?
What does the orphan mean?
That has no mother and dad, has no one to
Oh.
properly guide them. So therefore, they would then take on that responsibility, but they're not holistically going to look out for your best interest because they're not your dad or your mum.
Yeah, no, of course, but I would.
So in that aspect, what you're saying, yeah, but in the overall aspect where that person has the best interest for you, long or short, win or lose, you're better off having your mum or your dad there.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Because like your dad said, that person, you don't know that person, and they're only in there really to kind of soak up whatever work they can soak up. Because most people would normally ring a solicitor or ring someone or have someone to ring, not so much your age, but more time people have always had a little brush with the law, so they've always got their little solicitors that they can ring. So they would probably not rely on a duty solicitor. It would be the person that would be a little bit naive to what that duty solicitor would provide that probably would rely on that duty solicitor.
Yeah, no.
So but
give us was, the duty solicitor they tried to give us sounded terrible. Like he just didn't look like.
No, that'll be the case, and that'll be the case in most cases, because no matter what happens, there's always going to be someone there with a level of a sort of diminished financial capacity where they can't really even afford to ring someone.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
So there's to kind of facilitate that person.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense.
But you're not in that category, so that's where you don't have to even ever worry about that. You can always think ahead.
Yeah.
But there's going to be.
I'm never getting it again.
No, I bloody well hope not.
Never.
And the painting should have been therapeutic today.
No, that's not it. I don't know.
Yeah, I would have come and helped you if I'd known that's what you're keeping up.
No, that is not therapeutic. That is the most boring thing in my life.
And also that same consent thing you was talking about yesterday.
About which one?
Regarding the R word and that.
Oh yeah. That
is a very touchy thing.
Yeah,
it's very touchy. It's very touchy because like you, just like your dad said, a lot of times when people make false claims, it just makes it worse for someone that it actually happens to.
Yeah.
Because when they try to bring their story across, the same sort of questions that would have been thrown at that person to uncover a deceitful claim would be thrown at a genuine person who's got a genuine claim. And depending on how they might handle that level of interrogation, it might prove controversial to their actual claim.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That topic of conversation, just no matter what you say, you're gonna get challenged on it.
No, it's sensitive because guess what? When you're gonna grow in life and buck up into certain gal, and you're gonna realize that certain of these women have been through these things, but you wouldn't even think it unless they told you.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So therefore, unless they tell you, you're just gonna think like, well, you just had pretty much a normal life like I have. Not, fell over a couple times, bumped my head here, but nothing too traumatic. Yeah. Until they really tell you, and you be like, Rod, and how do you deal with that? Because unless you're that sort of person, you're gonna feel a way just to know that person's been through that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's mad. I don't get how someone could do that anyway.
It's fucked up. It's a fucked up thing to do to anyone, let alone a boy or a girl. It's like that's a fucked up thing to do. Mm. If a girl tell you no, just leave her and go on about your business. It's not a big thing. Yeah, trust me.
Life is tough, especially nowadays. But yeah, you sound like you've got your head screwed on, which is nice to hear. Thank you, man. I'm trying.
What's that? You're trying what?
To keep my head screwed on.
Well, you shouldn't be that hard. You got a decent family, decent support network.
Yeah.
That sometimes is enough. People got less than that. I'm sure you know a couple of your pals that's got less than support network you've got.
Yeah, most of them, to be honest.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even the other day when I was hearing you talk about, I'm trying to find a plan to get out of, I'm thinking, like, how is a man going to make a rational decision and think that something rational, good's going to come out of it? Like,
wait, what did I say?
Huh?
Wait, what did I say again?
I think he was trying to get out the house.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, what kind of a madman does them? Like, do you need to talk? Only a madman is going to be thinking like that. Really, truly. Trust me. Why would you remove yourself from comfort to be in discomfort? That
I weren't comfortable.
I don't know. That even if any of my people tell me that, I'm gonna sit them down and say, "What's up?" Because not even me that's been in discomfort because of my own doing. Sometimes would not trade comfort for discomfort.
No, man, because that took my phone and I
Did that took your phone?
That took my phone for a couple hours and I just couldn't handle it.
Wow, that's a major. Boy, you know what? Just for that violation, I think you should. I think you shouldn't even be here right now. I think you should be calling it honest. It'd be real major beef.
What do you mean? Imagine coming out of the cell and you can't even speak to no one.
Oh well, it's not the end of the world. Can you go out? Could you go outside?
No.
Oh, so you wasn't allowed to go outside and go on your phone?
Like, yeah, for a couple hours.
Why? Because of what happened?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
As soon as we've come back. Yeah, as soon as we've come back, yeah.
Oh, so because of that said incident.
Yeah.
Really?
No, it was a impulsive.
No, really. Hold on. And who had to come and pick you up?
Mom and Dad.
Really? Think about it. Just think about it logically. You're gonna make up a noise after they have to come and get you from there.
I was actually begging the police, like, just like let my mom come pick me up.
That don't make no sense. Don't be making irrational decisions like that again. It don't make no sense.
Yeah.
They'll say that they'll think that you do need help making them sort of weird decisions. They'll be like, wait a minute, you come from a good home. What's he on about? Like maybe there's something deeper we need to look into. There's nothing deeper they need to look into.
Yeah.
So where's everyone else? I thought more people was coming on this live feed.
I'm not sure. You're gonna have to ask Dad.
Oh, okay.
He's back.
No, because obviously you got your thing all set up like some flipping DJ Academics proper podcasting type of thing, making me look all moist. Making me look all moist for my little iPhone. You know what I mean? There.
What's the time? What's the time?
10:15.
Oh, Dad, man, come, man. I come home, yeah. I come home at like 9:45, and I said, yeah, I'm gonna have a shower. I'm gonna be out of the shower by 10. Do something and just chill and then just go to sleep for the rest of the night. I know it's not gonna stop until for a good another half an hour.
What's not gonna stop?
He's gonna make me sit on his lap for another extra half an hour.
What's he doing? I thought he was coming on.
I don't know. He's just chilling.
Okay. Wow. That's news to me. The way he messaged me, like, yeah, come on, I've got something to talk about. Yeah. Yeah. Well, as long as you're behaving yourself and everyone else is all right, that's the best you can do, mate.
I literally just been going college work and just chilling. I've been trying to learn us a trade and then just chilling.
You still working?
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
There's nothing else to do, to be honest.
Do you want to study? Do you want to study anything?
I go to college, but like I'm just gonna finish that, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do after that. I probably won't go to university.
Why not?
Because I just feel like I don't really have a aspiring job that I would need to go to university to do.
Yeah, so ain't there something that you'd like to have like a mastership in? No?
Because I feel like there's so many opportunities in the world now, yeah. Like I kind of understand like dad's age, etc., etc. Like obviously dad's doing the online thing now as well. But I feel like all right, cool. If you was my age and living in my generation, would you prefer to stay in education and get a most probably like just an average job, which isn't a bad thing. It's not bad, but you could make the same money, but by sitting in your house nowadays. Like I have enough time on my hands to try and at least try and make something. But there's so many things you can do at home.
Well, it depends. It depends how you're looking on. Like, if you're looking just to think that you can stay in this country for the rest of your life, because sometimes you might have to look to move on to other places, because this country is looking like it's getting a bit rough. Yeah, and to be fair, I don't know anything. I don't know anywhere else apart from this country, but it's also got me looking on other places, because when you look on the sort of way that they're dealing with the government that you're supposed to be in a contract of you to look after you in some sense, is sort of trying to do you in. And you've also got to look in other places where this is also happening and where it ain't happening. And I'm not saying it ain't happening globally, but there's certain other places where it ain't really happening like that. And sometimes you got to think like, oh, is it maybe I got to go somewhere else? But if you do go somewhere else, what have you got to offer that other place apart from just a pretty face? Because that ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to have some sort of skill or trade that you can go over into a whole nother country and utilize, just like you was if you was in your own country. So I get where you got opportunities, and I get where you're seeing the opportunities that you've got, but it's also a safe bet to get something secure that could show that you've got some level of expertise in it to some degree, because with it then you can sort of command the level of price range with that expertise. But obviously you've got to then deliver that expertise. They're relying upon it. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know what I would do though. Probably I'd do something that to do with business. Right now I'm doing business law, like solicitor law.
What, you don't like that?
Yeah, no, it's all right. Like I go to college. Like I'm trying to get my a pass at least. Well, I'm gonna get higher than a pass. But
so, but only if you get you're doing A levels, right?
It's equivalent to 3 A levels, yeah.
All right. So if you get the relevant A levels, you can then apply to do a law degree.
Yeah, university. But I feel like I'd only do that if I actually feel like, I want to become a lawyer.
Yeah, but think about it. Even if you did, you don't have to be in this country to do it. You can
Yeah,
go
no.
anywhere else and do it. What, you think nowhere else ain't got no laws?
Yeah.
So that option,
America is the best place.
hold on, that option absolutely widens from an English degree. It doesn't widen by you being in another country doing a degree over there in law, because they're still expected to come over into England and do an English law degree. So
Yeah.
so being that you're born there, logically it would make sense if you was going in that direction. If you get that, you can go anywhere in the world with that, anywhere, and that's it. You're good to go. Anywhere. So you wouldn't have to, so you staying there is purely up to you. If you want to muck about with the English pound, that's up to you. But if you want to go anywhere else, you can go.
No, if I was gonna go somewhere, I go Thailand.
You can go there. You can go anywhere. But that's what I'm trying to say. With an English degree, it's quite respected. So you can't not go nowhere and they don't respect you with it. It's when you're here that there's a big old sort of crab in a bucket fight.
Yeah.
You get it? Because you've got too many overqualified people on a small island.
Oh yeah, no, that makes 100% makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Whereas you being somewhere like on a continent like Africa or the United States, it's not over congested.
Yeah.
But being here, that's what makes it a bit difficult, and you might have to know a pal or know a friend, otherwise you just don't get in. It's weird. Funny enough, it's weird like that. Something that I've learned over my years, in more recent years than latter years.
Yeah. What decade was you born in?
I was born in 1979, so I was just born just a year before the 80s.
What was the difference between? All right, you was a teenager in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the difference between the 90s and today's living?
The difference between the 90s and now?
Yeah.
There was a lot more unity. It wasn't completely united, but there was a lot more unity amongst us, to be fair. Like, obviously you would have areas separated, but even then you could still float about if you was known. You get me? You could still float in someone else's area. You still run a risk, but you can still float. But now you can just about go down a road or two before it's peak.
Yeah.
So that is the difference. It's a lot more divided, unfortunately, for your age group particularly.
All right.
I don't know how it became so divided, but it's weirdly divided. So that's the only thing I can say. And obviously, you know, we still had cameras, but we didn't have as much as it was. You didn't have people that, you see, like if something's happening on the road, you didn't have someone taking a picture of it and just filming it. Why? You didn't have a camera. You get it? So that person was either joining in or they're walking away. There isn't no stand up there and just filming it. So it was one of them sort of times where certain things you see now you just wouldn't see because the sort of things just weren't available to behave in such a way. Now I think it's a bit weird because sometimes you see things going on and man just filming it. You'd be like, mate, someone's getting punched in their face, blood. They ain't gonna do nothing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're just filming it. And these times now, you might all film it. You might be all filming like a policeman doing it to someone, and they will take your phone. So whatever you was filming doesn't make no sense no more. Why? Because they've all taken it. You know? You know what I mean? When you get your phone back, whatever it was on there you was calling is all taken off. So it's we're living in a kind of weird, funny times. You know, obviously there's loads of opportunities for you lot to, you know, to prosper and to make something of yourselves, but there's also loads of different weird, subtle obstacles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they don't get any easier when you come out of London. If you go like towards the north of England, it's, yeah, it gets even weird. So it's not like a problem that's just confined to London.
What is the north of England?
Huh?
What is the north of England?
Like Birmingham and Manchester and
Uh,
see what I'm saying?
yeah,
And as you know, they've all got their problems as well.
yeah.
So don't think like, oh, it's just London and everyone's looking at Sadiq Khan and no, this is the whole of England going all the way up to Scotland.
What? So Sadiq Khan control Manchester and that as well, or just London?
Huh?
Does Sadiq Khan not control Manchester and Birmingham and that, or not?
Hell no.
What does he do? Just London?
Just London.
So what is he?
He's just a mayor. He's
Oh, just a mayor.
he's actually the mayor of Greater London. So that's that big old border that covers from the M25, and it's like a bigger border, but it's called Greater London. He's the mayor of that.
Yeah.
And then you've got a Lord Mayor who's the mayor of the City of London. And Sadiq Khan ain't the mayor of that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Do you get what I'm saying?
This guy's knowledge is cooked. I just don't really home in on that. I feel like these are things I would learn in primary school.
Well, you were supposed to have.
Yeah, but was Sadiq Khan around in
No, but even still, because if it wasn't Sadiq Khan, there was still someone else in his position.
What was it? David. I swear there was a David something.
No, at one stage Boris was the mayor.
Yeah, Boris Johnson, David Cameron. What was the other one, Mum? Hillary Clinton.
Ken Livingstone.
Oh, Hillary Clinton.
Ken Livingstone. Yeah, so you know you've had a couple in your timeline, but do you get what I'm saying? They only have a limited amount of control.
Yeah.
And what makes it sometimes stupid is if you get a say for instance a Conservative government and a Labour mayor, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird, isn't it? Because you've got the government, the mayor's an opposing person, isn't it? In actuality, so it's going to be weird. You need basically a Conservative government with a Conservative mayor for something to sort of for them to be sort of singing on the same hymn sheet. Otherwise, they're not really. They claim they are, but they don't really.
Yeah.
And like you said, this stuff they should teach people from primary school. So just to let you know, you've already heard that I was born in 1979, grew up in the 80s, teenager in the 90s. I can tell you in the 80s, they didn't teach us this neither. So don't think that don't think it's anything special to where we got any information and they'll tell you that. They didn't tell us that. They didn't tell us that neither.
I don't know nothing about all that type of stuff no more, to be honest.
No. They didn't teach us that neither. So that's where a lot of us sometimes feel disorientated when we're born here, but we don't feel that we come from here because a lot of the things you're supposed to be shown about here, you're not shown.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not shown that an African emperor created the city of London in the 4th century.
I didn't.
No one knows that, but they know it. If you go into the British Museum, they've got the bust of the guy that established the city of London in the British Museum. But you just won't, unless you go there, you just won't know that. Wait, you talking about an African? Yeah, an African.
Look what someone said. Ask him if knife crime was the same back then.
Not really. Like obviously, a man would carry a blade. Some would, some wouldn't, but it wasn't as prevalent. Like not everyone, and the knives weren't as big. Like he wasn't carrying a big old zombie knife.
Yeah.
You had you might have had a butterfly knife, or a pen knife, or a Stanley knife, but you didn't have what I see man carrying now, where you got to unsheath it. It wasn't nothing. Huh?
Wouldn't you say crime was worse back then, but it it was just less exposed because there's less social media or not?
To be fair, there's never been a time in England since probably the 1800s, if not before then, where there's never been some element of disorder, especially in London. Like whatever they paint to you to say that this country's been that great and it's been nice and lovely and absolutely free to live over here, nothing will happen. You can leave your door wide open. No, it hasn't always been like that. The probably most prevalent time it's ever been like that, to where you could leave your door open and walk down the road, is probably during the 60s and 70s, and that was it. Any other time before that, maybe it was a bit cagey, I don't know. But up before that, you've had crime always in England.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me tell you this: the police and the CPS was only set up in probably 1850 at best. That's quite recent, no?
So what would happen before then?
You just had like a private sort of king's army.
Oh, yeah,
and worst thing about it is, you see, like how you were talking before regarding like someone making a claim against you, and it's just hearsay. Yeah, you're living in that time of realm where there's no cameras, and what did you say? I don't believe you, and
yeah,
you know, like you ain't got no witnesses. Case thrown out.
Yeah.
Why? Because if we ain't got no one there to say that they even witnessed anything happening, then it's just their word against theirs.
Yeah, now there's cameras on every single road.
Yeah, of course. But back then, you get away with absolute murders, and it showed. And it showed because when you had my man running around flipping Whitechapel in 1880, he murdered 2 women in a couple of about half an hour.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
and they still don't even know who he is. They do, but you know what I mean? They do, but it's one of them ones.
Yeah. What happened to 2 different lifestyles? I deleted it. I remember I snuck onto Dad's account and I deleted it.
What happened to what?
2 different lifestyles. It was my song. It was my song that Dad basically made me. Remember when Dad got me a music video done for my birthday? I think it was my 13th birthday or my 14th birthday. I think.
Music video.
Yeah, he got a music. He made me. He said to me, "I've got a month to write a song," and he got me a music video done on my birthday. Yeah. And then when it come to uploading it, I didn't want to upload it, but it was a thing where it was paid for. Like, so I felt like we ended up uploading it. Yeah. Obviously, it was out for a bit, and then one day I just went on Dad's thing and I deleted it. Time to forget about it.
It is your footage, so I suppose you've got the right to delete it if you want.
But yeah, but I don't, because I felt like it just weren't something that I wanted. It was something that I wanted, but it wasn't something that I didn't really feel like it was the best of work to put out there.
Fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that.
So that's why I deleted it. But at the time I was young. I was probably caring about what people thought more than what I thought.
Might have been.
Like, now I would post it. I wouldn't care what anyone had to say.
Why? Because you're older.
Yeah, like, I don't really care what people have to say. I'm not that old. I'm still young, but like.
Yeah, but that's what comes with age, Tate. You know what I mean? As you come with older, a lot of certain things like you let go of. You be like, oh really? Was I doing that? Trust me. Yeah. If you don't, then trust me. You see the guys that your age that don't know how to let go of certain things that ain't been a benefit for them. You're gonna see them in years to come, and you're gonna see why they're in the same place because they didn't learn to see. They didn't know how to let certain things go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even how about today? Have you seen that clip of them 2 men trying to steal that man's moped?
But and they was and the band kept on kicking him off it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm thinking so like, are you too serious? And then at the end, he's like, oh yeah, let's dust now.
I don't know what they were trying to do.
I don't know what they're trying to do. I'm thinking, probably you're trying to take a man's back, a delivery back. You're slipping all over the place trying to take it. You're taking too long to take it. Just leave it.
Yeah.
To when they get to the point like, yeah, you know what? Let's leave it.
Yeah,
Like,
after like a minute.
really? I can find you something to do that's less ag.
Yeah.
Yeah. And probably legit. Like, really, is that what man's doing? I'm upset because I'm upset. You know why I'm upset? Because back in the days we weren't doing that. So I don't know what you are thinking when you don't want to behave like this now. And there's no peas involved or nothing. Yeah. It's just like I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it.
For the fun of it.
No, it's got. I saw that earlier, and I had to watch the fullness of it. I thought so. You're having a laugh, ain't you? Yeah, I thought of what delivery bag, and you want to go full ham like every time you get on a delivery bag, man's pushing you off it. No one don't want to. You don't want to shut him down so he don't push you off it. Get out of here, man. Like to me, obviously I'm not even in that way inclined no more. But when you see all of that coming from that realm, you're like, what are you doing? Just leave it alone. Yeah. Like you don't have to be bad, you know. It doesn't even impress the people that used to be bad when you try to be bad. Because they know when you have to be bad. And if you had to be bad, when back in the days when you had to be bad, you was doing it for some sort of gain, like some real money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Something that's worth you getting nicked for. Like what I see man doing that, and they're gonna get nicked for. Like, really? Are you right in your head? And the sentences ain't getting any smaller. So, I'm good. I'm legit now, so I'm all right. That's how I'm staying. Yeah, that's how I'm staying. That's how I'm staying, fam. Forget all of that life there is dead. I would advise any young you go and find yourself a job or something to do.
So at that time, you cared what people say. I
think he's talking to you about regarding your video.
He wasn't really proud of it. Like it was a thing where I never really ever wanted to do music. But then obviously Dad's would obviously set everything up and told me I've got 1 month to make a song, and I was like, all right, yeah, cool. And then obviously made the music video, and then I weren't really a fan of it. Like I weren't really a fan of my own song. Like I feel like if I was to make my own song, I would want to like it. If I like it, then I believe other people will like it. That's how I look at it. If I don't like it myself, why would other people like it? And it weren't even that I never really got hate for it. Like I had it out for ages, innit? I had it out for months and months, or maybe even over a year. And then just one day I just decided I'm gonna delete it, and I deleted it. Do you know what it was? People were like playing it on the bus and that. Like, oh no, I just couldn't.
And what's wrong with that?
No, man, I couldn't take it.
That's the whole point of you creating the music in the first place, for people to play it.
No, it weren't really like but you know when it's not like it's a bit of banter.
I know it might have appeared as such at first, but to me, it's like, well, if obviously now you're expressing yourself, you're saying, you weren't really into music, so as enthusiastic as what your dad might have thought. So we get that now. And obviously that normally shows in most good artists anyway, because you hear the sort of passion in there in whatever they've got to bring to the table. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like music right now is a bit weird because there ain't as much passion as what you had when we was coming up. There was a lot of passion in what people had to say, whether they were singing it, whether they was rapping it. But now, there ain't no real heart with it. It's like I'm just saying a load of bullshit, and it will just get views and numbers. You know what I mean? Which, to be fair, I'll be honest, a lot of most man, I wouldn't play it going down the road. Like I would find something cheerful or something, put it on Radio 1 or something, or LBC. Didn't that right? No, we're not listening to that foolishness. Turn it off.
I don't even know what that is.
Because
what is LBC?
London Broadcasting. They just talk. There's no music.
Oh, what? There's no music, no.
There's no music. It's an adult conversation. You have people phoning in, talking about issues, whatever whatever's going on in England. Yeah, I'll turn it onto that. Then listen to man chat a whole heap of foolishness that's gonna gas some little dance, little pick me up to go and behave like he's bad, and the next thing you know, I'm gonna see him on the flipping news because he got himself stabbed. It don't make any sense. Well, I was sitting right here when my mum messaged me the other day, and she's telling me about the little youth that got shot in Stockholm. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Mum, it's like 3 something. I'm sitting there in the bedroom, like just chilling. What do you mean someone got shot? Pick me. I'm like, and I'm thinking, if I could just be here in my humble quarters, how is people getting shot in that time of day? School times.
Yeah, it's mad.
Then when I'm hearing the person that's got nicked for it, they're like double his age.
Yeah, the person who got nicked is 32 years old.
Yeah, so wait a minute. So when he came into this world, screaming and crying like a baby, he was 16 years of age.
Yeah.
Then you're something wrong with you.
Yeah, that's mad.
Secretly, there's something wrong with you, because how are you gonna have him come run down some little picnic? What did he do that's that bad? I don't know. Not saying that people can't do bad things, but really,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll rather come and check a person's parents and say, well, if your picture's behaving a certain way, I want to chat to your mum or your dad. And I'll, me and them can have whatever's going on. Yeah.
Look at someone said he's wearing 3 small squirrels in his head right now. Just Bants, big up.
Leo left you. Leo, I don't know where he is. What's he doing?
I told you he's on the phone. I told you I was gonna come here for 2 minutes.
He's on the phone.
Yeah, he's on the phone somewhere. I don't even know. And I told you I was gonna be here for 2 minutes, and now look at the time, 10:45. I got.
How's your mum?
Yeah, no, she's alright. To be fair, she's alright. She's just chilling.
Tell her hello,
Mom. No, she's not even there. She's not even there.
Well, I didn't mean now in specific.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna come for live now. I'll tell her now. I'm gonna end it, man. I got college in the morning.
Oh yeah. You can't miss that.
No, I never miss college.
Good.
But yeah, big up everyone. Thank you, T, for your wisdom.
Don't watch nothing, family. Anytime for you, anytime.
All right, yeah, cool.
All right.